I'm not real certain what they have at LSU, but I got to go up to there to do the opening prayer at the All-Star game. What's his name? It never rains in Dan Barnett.
I get him and Franquez mixed up.
Right here and right there. Al Toops, you know him?
I've heard of him.
Al spots for him. Well,
It's time for high school football. I'm Jeff Porsche, welcoming you to Spartan Stadium in Gonzales for tonight's REV game of the week between the DUTCHTOWN Griffins and the East Ascension Spartans. Before we talk about tonight's game, Monica Arnold with REV is standing by down on the field with Molly Kilgore, a sophomore at East Ascension, to talk about EATV.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm here tonight with Miss Molly Kilgore, a sophomore, a Spartanette, and the representative of the EATV, the most creative class that there is right now, right? The newest creative class anyway. Thanks for joining us tonight. Can you tell us a little bit about EATV?
EATV is our school's daily news, where we tell our students about the events that happens during the week, during the month, and important things to know that day. The broadcasting class that we film it in, though, we do mainly focus on creative news. Mm-hmm. However, we also focus on making podcasts and game shows, and overall showing the school spirit that our school has to offer.
Well, that sounds fantastic. So what was it that made you join the cast, or should I say join the class of EATV? What's your favorite part?
My favorite part must be the people who are in it. Just creating the news with them and getting to bond with the people. Like it could be upperclassmen or lowerclassmen. We all come together to make the news and to entertain the school in that way.
Well, that's fantastic. So at REV, we're always excited about rewarding creativity and hard work, much like in the case of your teacher, Mr. Eric Brownfield, who launched this class with a little help from the Reach a Kid, Teach a Kid grant program that REV puts on. With someone like Mr. Brownfield, how does his leadership and vision impact and maybe motivate the class?
Mr. Brownfield is a very inspiring teacher in the way he's just so passionate about what he does, and he really cares about the students and the school. He also comes up with these very creative ideas that help our students know like what to say on the news or ideas to put on the news.
Okay. Well, that's all very interesting, and it's great to have a teacher that you can just, speak so highly about. We've had the pleasure of working with him a few times ourselves.
He's great.
So where can our viewers check out some of this content that y'all have created on EATV?
We have a YouTube channel called EATV where you can look at past news that we've done. You can also look at hype videos and game shows, podcasts, a whole bunch of things that are very interesting and are great to learn about our school.
So enthusiastic about it, too. Well, thanks, Molly. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And also, maybe next time you can be on this side giving the interview. Who knows?
Maybe.
All right. Well, stay tuned for REV Game of the Week.
Yeah, break. Good job.
My hand, Mike.
My leg was going like this.
You guys did good.
Looking for an extraordinary education opportunity? Introducing Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where you can earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree from River Parishes Community College at the same time. Experience the best of both worlds as high school seamlessly blends with college coursework in a rigorous yet supportive program. Yet stay connected to your home high school through clubs, organizations, and sports. And here's the best part. Students pay no tuition or textbook cost. Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where your future begins today.
Lamar Dixon's role from an entertainment standpoint is to be an economic engine for South Louisiana and Ascension Parish, to create an environment that people don't have to really leave their home in South Louisiana to have a world-class entertainment value. The partnership between Lamar and REV has been a seamless marriage that I don't know how we lived without, and really knew what they were talking about and took the time to learn what we did instead of just sell us a product. I knew that that was going to be our company for life. I highly recommend REV Business.
We just moved, so there's millions of
dahlias in bloom, over 9 acres. When we started, we grew a quarter of an acre.
Now I'm taking on new products on the regular.
We always dreamed of having this property, so
I want to make my yard look as beautiful as
largemouth bass.
Yep.
We've got tons of them, don't we, buddy?
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours?
Come see us at Ascension Equipment for John Deere sales and service. Save more today and mow tomorrow.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
This baby will get your heart racing as much as your slick new devices do. Switch to REV. No contracts, no data caps, no nonsense. Just all fiber internet all the time. Build your plan at letsrev.com. Let's Rev. Internet speed so fast, you're gonna need seatbelts for your sofa. Switch to REV. No contracts, no data caps, no nonsense. Just all fiber internet all the time. Build your plan at letsrev.com. Let's Rev.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week at Spartan Stadium. I'm Jeff Porsche, and tonight the East Ascension Spartans, 3-6 on the season, 2-2 in district, will host the DUTCHTOWN Griffins, who are 7-1 on the year and 3-1 in district. I'll be joined by Coach David Swacker in a little while, but we're just going to kind of introduce this game to you right here. It's a big game in District 5-5A. DUTCHTOWN playing for a share of the district title. East Ascension playing for a chance at making the postseason, as they're at 28 in the power rankings and they only take 28 teams, so they have to stand their ground tonight after this game to make it to the postseason. And got a lot of exciting things to talk to you about before the game begins. When we come back from our next break, we're going to set the tables for tonight's game between the Griffins and the Spartans, and then we'll have the East Ascension Band with the national anthem from Anna Bourgeois and the invocation from Emily Langlois, and then we'll get the coin toss and then the opening kickoff between these two teams. It's going to be a good one. Week 10, beautiful night, 67 degrees, not a cloud in the sky here in downtown Gonzales, Louisiana. We're going to take a break right now and come back and set the tables for tonight's broadcast. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Rev Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. Rev is about big business technology with small business personal service. For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
Looking for an extraordinary education opportunity? Introducing Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where you can earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree from River Parish's community college at the same time. Experience the best of both worlds as high school seamlessly blends with college coursework in a rigorous yet supportive program. Yet stay connected to your home high school through clubs, organizations, and sports. And here's the best part. Students pay no tuition or textbook costs. Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where your future begins today.
The best way to recruit for at-home tailgating is Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin. All of the 5 stars are at Chris's Specialty Foods. Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
This baby will get your heart racing as much as your slick new devices do. Switch to REV. No contracts, no data caps, no nonsense. Just all fiber internet all the time. Build your plan at letsrev.com. Let's Rev. Internet speed so fast, you're gonna need seatbelts for your sofa. Switch to REV. No contracts, no data caps, no nonsense. Just all fiber internet, all the time. Build your plan at letsrev.com. Let's Rev.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for almost 30 years. We do all the prep work so people can have home-cooked meals without spending all day in the kitchen. Everything is done ourselves. With 3 locations in Louisiana and a 4th in Texas, we needed all of them connected to the same system for point of sale and telephone. REV Business set us up, and it's been a game changer. They have everything as national companies, but with real local service. REV Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. Jeff Porsche and David Swacker with you tonight. Dutchtown at East Ascension, Week 10, the final week of the regular season in high school football in 2023. And we're going to go ahead and start taking a look at the game notes for tonight's game between Dutchtown and East Ascension. And first we're going to look at the all-time series. East Ascension leads 10-9. Dutchtown trying to tie the all-time series tonight with a possible win. And you see the asterisk there. In 2006, Dutchtown forfeited the game, so that's why East Ascension has the 10-9 overall lead. Points scored, Dutchtown has only 2 more points. It's a great rivalry, and just talks about the balance you have there. Dutchtown's 6-4 at Griffin Fields. East Ascension is 6-3 at Spartan Stadium. Dutchtown had a 7-game winning streak from 07 to 13. EA had a 5-game winning streak from 16 to 21. The most points scored by Dutchtown, 40 in 2006, and East Ascension in 2003 beat Dutchtown 49 to 13. And so it's a great series and a great rivalry and very balanced. So that's the important thing. Now, when we look at the coaches, you got a couple of great coaches here at East Ascension. You have Darnell Lee, the EA Hall of Fame member now. He was inducted last week at homecoming. He's in his 8th year, 53-35 overall. On the Dutchtown side, you have Guy Mastretta, who is in his 7th year, and he is 45-26 overall. It was a good week last week for both teams. Dutchtown beat Denham Springs at home in their home finale for the regular season, 38-7. And we were here, Coach Swack and I, for homecoming last week at East Ascension, and it was a great game for EA. Had 35 unanswered points in the second quarter, wound up beating Live Oak by a final score of 48-9. And now let's take a look at the district standings, because I talked about a few minutes ago, Dutchtown has a chance to win the district title. They could win it outright, but right now you see in the district rankings, that's the second set of numbers you see there on the right. They're tied with Santamon and Walker, and they're all 3-1 overall in district. Those 3 teams play the bottom half. East Ascension's playing Dutchtown, Live Oak's playing against Santamon, and Denham is playing against Walker. So there's conceivably an opportunity for a 3-way tie for the district title. Of course, if one team wins and 2 teams lose, you could have an outright district champion, or you could have a 2-way champion. Just depends on what happens. And the least conceivable outcome could be all 3 of those teams lose. If Santamon, Dutchtown, and Walker all lose tonight, then you could get a 4-way tie for the district title between Santamon, Dutchtown, Walker, and East Ascension. So East Ascension has a very slim chance to get a share of the district title, but last year you had 3 teams that shared the district title, and this year you could have 3 teams that share the district title as well, Coach.
Or 4.
Yeah, you're right.
And I don't know if you gathered all that information, but just call Jeff if you have any questions.
I'll be glad to break it down for you.
But quick story here. I'm on the headsets with Doug Morrow. Lehigh is playing Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
We're all in the same district. All of a sudden, they announce on the PA system, Lehigh has just beaten Catholic High, which was a gigantic upset. All right, so we're just moving along. We're ahead in the game, and, we eventually win the game. Then all of a sudden, Coach Morrow says, Coach Swack, doesn't that mean we're the district champions now? Not even knowing all the scenarios because we just thought for a second that, that Catholic was going to beat Lehigh. It just didn't happen that way. And so there's a lot of scenarios going on. The one thing that each coach is going to be doing, we can't worry or emphasize what's happening in another stadium. We have to take care of business in our stadium, whether you're here at East Ascension Stadium or at Live Oak Stadium where the Gators are playing. So some things could happen tonight, and it ought to be a lot of fun, because then that's when the second season starts with the playoffs and all the rankings tomorrow.
And what's interesting about the potential three-way tie is last year there was the three-way tie, and that was Dutchtown, East Ascension, and Denham Springs. This year the potential three-way tie could be between Dutchtown, Walker, and Sanoma. So 5 of the 6 teams conceivably could win a district title over the first 2 years of this newly revamped 5-5A, and that shows the balance and the competition you have in this district.
And you know what really might happen when this is all said and done? You might have to have some type of meeting, a district meeting where you cover all of these things in all of the sports, because you have so many possible situations that could happen to you in each and every sport.
Yep, and of course the district title and the district standings are very important, but what is conceivably more important, and probably more important in the minds of both of these coaches, is what is that? Where do we stand in the postseason, or do we even get to the postseason? And for East Ascension, if they lose tonight, it's up in the air. They're at 28 right now. Now Dutchtown is a quality loss with the 7-1 record, so it shouldn't hurt them that much, and they're hoping that if they lose, they can still stay in that 28 spot. If they win, that's going to erase any doubt. They're going to be solidly in the playoffs. They're going to still be in the 20s, but probably not even have to worry about that. As far as Dutchtown goes, they're number 8 in the power ratings, and you want to stay at 8 or higher, because when you get to 8, you wind up with potentially 2 home games. You get a home game round 1, and then you would be the home team in round 2 if there's not an upset. And so that's something that's very important to Dutchtown here tonight.
But the EA fans ought to check this out.
Yes.
3-6 right now.
Right.
It looks like the season is a total disaster. That's just about where they were last year when they made this run. So, everybody, allow the football players and the coaches to play the games and enjoy themselves. Let's look at.
We're going to take a look at the Division I non-select power rankings in 5-5A, and you see that's the numbers that are really important, and that's what you got to look at right here. Dutchtown is at 8, as we said. East Ascension is at 28, and so they can't drop any lower than that if they want to make the postseason, because only the top 28 go. Dutchtown, like you said there, Walker's at 9. They have a chance to sneak into the top 8. So that Denham game is going to be very important for them. That's almost a must-win for them if they want to get 2 home games. Sanoma, they're at 3 tonight. If they beat Live Oak, if you get into the top 4, you have a bye in round 1, and so you go automatically and get a home game in round 2. Is Dutchtown going to stay? Is Sanoma going to stay in the top 4? It remains to be seen. If they win tonight, they could, or they may get jumped by a couple of other teams like Destrehan or maybe Airline. But it's a very critical game tonight for basically every team except for maybe Live Oak and Denham Springs.
And the big thing that I think a lot of people are scratching their head on: what happened to Denham Springs this year? I mean,
we don't know.
Just one of these deals where they probably had some young players and things just did not work out for them. So, tonight's a big game, boy, and I'm going to tell you, it's a big game all over, because it's week 10, and this is it for a lot of seniors. Are not going to play after this week, but then a lot of seniors and their teammates are going to also be able to have an opportunity to move on into the playoffs.
And we said the other games in District 5-5A are Sanoma at Live Oak and Denham versus Walker. And Lau Boudreaux is going to get us updates on the Walker Live Oak game, and he's going to be checking out some other important games around the state that in the Division I non-select power ratings, because there's some games that are going to have a big impact. For example, Ruston plays West Monroe. Dutchtown and Santa Maria are going to be looking at that result very closely. In 4A, you have South Lafourche, who is one spot ahead, who's playing Vanderbilt. So they're pulling for Vanderbilt to beat South Lafourche this week. And there's some other games that are going to have an impact, as you see the East Ascension band getting ready to take the field.
And Jeff, that's a big thing. You know, you see the band out here. Every 5A school, especially in Ascension Parish, the band is tremendous. You know, you have all the people that are surrounding all the support groups and everything else. So going into the playoffs is big for them, as you see Dutchtown coming to their sideline across the way. Nice crowd. You see their band and all their cheer section greeting their team as they come through. And then, you know, East Ascension hasn't, you know, they've kind of
they're not even there yet.
Yeah, they kind of eased out onto the sideline right there. And but, boy, this is big for every school. When you go into the playoffs, you know, you get to travel.
Yeah.
You get the feeling of a little cold weather like we had this week. So playoff time is a big time for high schools in the state of Louisiana.
And so you can't really see it in the on the right-hand side, just past our camera, the EA Spartans are coming through and headed to their tunnel, and they're going to be making their entrance momentarily. And so, as you saw, Dutchtown, they are wearing the white tonight with the black helmets, and their primary color is purple, but they also wear the black. So their helmets are black with purple D's tonight, and then the all blues for East Ascension High School, as you see them heading to their tunnel, and they're going to make their entrance momentarily, and that's always a fun thing to watch for possibly the final time this season. They're going to be heading through that tunnel, and that's always a big night for a lot of the seniors for East Ascension, maybe their last home game of their careers.
And all the seniors in all of the groups have been honored in pregame activities at home games throughout the year.
So just momentarily, we will get the players to come through the tunnel, and then, as we said, we're going to have an invocation from Emily Langlois, and then the national anthem from the East Ascension band, and sung by Anna Bourgeois and the band led by Charles Lee. And for halftime, we want to bring this up because this ought to be really interesting. Our halftime show tonight, East Ascension is going to be filming a video and doing a show which is an all Metallica show. And so as you see East Ascension headed through, you're going to get the East Ascension band, who is trying to enter a contest and win a contest sponsored by Metallica, and they're going to do their entire program tonight, and we're going to cover that in its entirety. And we're also going to feature some things about the Dutchtown and East Ascension volleyball teams, who are going to be playing in the second round of the 5A playoffs, and that's going to be happening tomorrow morning, one at home and one on the road. And now we're going to turn over to the public address.
Tonight, the East Ascension High School Spartans host the DUTCHTOWN Griffins. The press box is under the direction of the East Ascension High School Booster Club, and all sponsorship funds are donated to the East Ascension High School Booster Club. Would everyone please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the national anthem? Tonight's invocation will be led by Emily Langlois, a junior member of the EA chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to gather here today. Thank you for all of the people who have volunteered their time today, because without them, we wouldn't be able to be here. Thank you for blessing us with this field to play on and for blessing us with beautiful weather. We thank you for the coaches who pour so much into this sport and its players. We ask that you protect all of the athletes on and off the field today, and we thank you for the opportunity to watch them play. Help them to use their training wisely, and win or lose, let us praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Today's colors are being presented by the East Ascension High School Naval Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. Color Guard members include National Flag Cadet Mia Roussel, State Flag Cadet Yitzhak Escalante, Right Rifleman Cadet Montel Cole, and Left Rifleman Cadet Natasha Cantaloni Popovic. Our national anthem will be performed tonight by Anna Bourgeois, a Spartan and junior member of the EA Choir.
So a great performance by the East Ascension Band as the fireworks go off, and national anthem performed by Anna Bourgeois and the invocation from Emily Langlois. And now the East Ascension Band will depart from the field as well as their color guard. And we are moments away from the coin toss as we are ready for the final game of the regular season in the state of Louisiana, Week 10 of high school football, 7-1 versus 3-6. Dutchtown, coach, is 1 point away from a perfect unbeaten season. Can't get much better than that without going undefeated. And East Ascension's played a tough schedule this season to get them prepared for the postseason. That's the idea behind the schedule. And we're, even though it's 7-1 versus 3-6, we expect a really competitive game here tonight. And I spoke to some Dutchtown
gentlemen, shake hands
that
for me.
said they expect this game to go down to the wire here tonight.
Well, you know, no matter what the situation, who you playing, if you're coaching
Thank
in a
y'all
game
a lot.
like
Thank
this,
y'all a lot.
especially
Number
Week
one.
10, with a lot of different playoff and
my name's Matt Jove. I'll be your white hat. I'm going to be talking to you all night long.
There's no doubt that's
Nate
exactly
Harris,
what every
umpire.
coach ought to be thinking.
He'll be talking to you all night long.
The coach has
This
to
is a violent
relay
game.
that to his assistant
I don't mind the
coaches, and
violence,
then
but when the
not
whistle
only to
blows,
the
shut
players,
it
but
down for me.
everybody that's
Understood?
involved, whether it be the fans or the student body. You know, you have to be ready each and every week to play these games. And you talk about 1 point being the difference.
Yep.
All right.
You know,
ready?
I'm sure if you stay in this business long enough, you're going to have many situations where
Tails, you
one
have
point is a difference maker.
And they lost 21-20 to Walker, and they missed an extra point and a field goal in that game. So that's how close it was. Dutchtown has won the toss, and they're going to defer. So it looks like East Ascension is going to get the ball first and work from right to left. So you see the referee says that they are deferring. So that means that East Ascension is going to receive the opening kickoff. And so what we're going to do now is introduce you to the East Ascension offensive starters for tonight's game. And they're led by the Baton Rouge Advocate Player of the Week, Caden Gautreaux, who had the 4 touchdowns in the second quarter in that big rout against Live Oak. And in the backfield, you're going to see Taj Washington, Brennan Thompson. He's going to be also playing a little bit of receiver. The other receivers, Jackson Chasson, he's a really good one. Ja'Cory Mitchell, Justin Oob, he scored a touchdown last week. Offensive line, Bryson Martinez, Aiden Joseph, Kendrell Green, Javon Matthews, and Colin Netter. And for the Dutchtown Griffins, their defensive starters, that's pretty much stayed consistent all season. They play a 4-3. Zion Tremont, Diego Spears, Josh Lewis on the front 3. And then the 4 linebackers, Blake Bowie, Mason Miles, Brendan Baker, and Carter Hanberry. Then the 4 DBs, Riker Rogers, Lathan Riley, Jeremy Jackson, and Caden Mackey. And so we are set to go as the kickoff coming from Dutchtown kicker number 97, Manuel Cardona. So here we go, Week 10, Spartan Stadium, and it's a pooch kick, and it's on the ground, and there's a scramble for it. I think East Ascension came up with it. They did. But you see this from Dutchtown a lot. They do the short kick, and sometimes you catch them sleeping and maybe get a turnover right there.
And, you say, well, let's, you could kick it in the end zone. All right, who kicks it in the end zone? Not a great deal of high school place kickers kick that ball in the end zone. And then the scary thing is just trying to cover going down that field, from the kickoff team. So right here you start with the ball first and 10, about at the 38-yard line or 33-yard line. 33,
yes. And so you got Taj Washington in the backfield with Caden Gautreaux at quarterback, 3 receivers. And there's Taj with the ball, and he's got some room, and he's going to get probably a first down. Looks like he spotted right at the marker, so it should be a 10-yard gain, Coach, on first down.
Watch the little hole right here that Washington gets through, coming right at you. Not a slip in there. Good job right there by the right guard, pulling up in there and making a nice block right there.
You also saw Bryson Martinez, number 78. He took out Carter Hanberry, who's probably the best defensive player on the field for Dutchtown, maybe the best defensive player in the entire district. So good job by Martinez, the big sophomore left tackle. First down, quick pass, and hit hard by number 6 for the Dutchtown Griffins. I believe that's Lakedron Harvey on defense. No, that's number 5, maybe Chaz Smith. Okay, that's Chaz Smith, number 5.
You mess up right here. If you're the blocking receiver, your responsibility usually is the most dangerous man. And I think the receiver will help him out next time and let him know where the most dangerous man is.
It's a 5-yard loss at 2nd and 15 for the Spartans. And there's Taj again. He's up the middle, and that time number 92 is going to make the tackle. That's Kylan Darville, backup defensive lineman, and now it's going to be 3rd and long for East Ascension. A passing down right here.
Darville, nice job of coming down that line of scrimmage right there and not penetrating too deep to where that guy cuts back underneath you, able to make the solo tackle at the line of scrimmage.
So Darville playing in that nose spot. Diego Spears moves into Zion Tremont's spot at left end. 3rd and 14 and going deep left to Chasson, and it's caught, and he's going to score as he takes out Lathan Riley and it's a quick strike for East Ascension. They lead 6-0, 9:48 in the first.
Well, you watch Chasson on this replay here, but watch right here. Nice throw by Cotro. Probably can't even see what happened right there. Trying to make a play defensively, the defensive back. And that was
Nathan Riley on the coverage.
Riley right there just tripped up right there trying to make the play. Chasson has turned this team around in the passing game over the last couple of games.
Yes, that's his, I believe, either his third or his fourth touchdown in the last 2 weeks. And as Ramirez comes in for the extra point, and it is good. And it's 7-0 East Ascension early on. We'll take a break. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Walk-Ons, We Live for This, Glaze, Heating and Air, SKR Construction, Austin Fire Systems, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine Program.
7-0 after the 60-yard touchdown pass from Gautreaux to Chasson, and then the extra point.
Boy, Ramirez having an outstanding year. Boy, the kickers are not a dime a dozen, but in Ascension Parish, they really have some great kickers. Ramirez is 23 out of 25 on the year in the extra point department.
And Chasson having one whale of a season for East Ascension as we get ready for the opening kickoff. And taken up the middle by Mackey. He returned one for a touchdown in the Jamboree. Gets it to the 35 as we talked about the touchdown for Jackson Chasson. And he's had a great season in terms of receiving. He's got 27 catches for 508 and 3 touchdowns going into the game here tonight. And he's got another touchdown here so far.
And boy, I've never seen anybody do this on the return. Kind of pause and let things happen, and it opened up for him and got up some pretty nice yardage starting at the 35-yard line.
We'll give you the Dutchtown offensive starters after this play on first down. They're led by Ethan O'Quinn at quarterback. Man in motion. And looking right, complete. And that is Casey McCoy for no gain. And it's going to be second down as we look at Dutchtown's offensive starters. O'Quinn is the quarterback. You're going to see 2 feature backs, Gary Dukes and LaKeedron Harvey. 2 receivers, Logan Mayo and Tyler Adams. And you'll also see Casey McCoy, who caught the ball. Dylan DeSherry, a tight end. Gaho, Green, Cangelosi, Davis, and Graham on the offensive line. We'll get to the defensive starters after this next play. It's 2nd and 11 from the 34 as now they turn to the sidelines and get the call from the coaches.
You're trying to get 2 things there to maybe possibly get them to jump off sides and give the coaches, the play caller, a shot at what's going on for the best play.
Gary Dukes gets about 3. It's going to be 3rd down and 8 as we look at the East Ascension defensive starters. You have 4 linemen and 2 linebackers. Camden Womack, Mervyn Regis, Nathan Allen, Joseph Hobby on the line, Zachary Jupiter, Shaquan Isom on the linebacker spots. Cornerbacks and DBs, you got Ernest Mitchell, Bryce Harkless, Dawson Landry, Lamar Bolden, and Deron McZeal as we head to 3rd and 8 with 8:28 left to go in the first. 7-0 East Ascension with the lead. Shotgun, O'Quinn looking deep, and he's trying to get it to McCoy, and it's short and incomplete as the coverage by Brennan Thompson, and it's 4th down, Coach.
Well, you had a vertical route there on the outside. I'm not as you see right here with the outside receiver, not open, but just look right there. You know, that second inside receiver, you would have to get it in there pretty hot to make that completion in between the zone setters.
Now the punt coming from the Griffins, and Casey McCoy is the punter for Dutchtown as they set up tight.
Coach Mistretta didn't like the look.
And it's a line drive and a beauty. It's going to be taken at the 19 and dropped, and then McZeal picks it up and gets to the 26-yard line. McZeal, as a freshman, was a Dutchtown Griffin, but now one of the stars in the secondary for East Ascension, as you see right there. Kind of dropped it, picked it up, and still got about 6 out of it.
Well, you can see these guys coming in on the bottom of your screen. That's where your wall was, but when McZeal mishandled the ball, not able to get out to that. And McZeal also going to be a two-sport guy with a basketball player.
Right, we'll see him during the basketball season for sure. So the first series for East Ascension resulted in a 61-yard touchdown from Gautreaux to Chasson. And now we'll see what East Ascension can do on their second drive after holding Dutchtown to a 3-and-out. As the handoff goes right for a short gain, about 3 yards. As that looks like number 21, Jeremiah Wilson, on the carry. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 8.
And so I can only imagine some EA people are saying, why don't we just throw it long again? That looked pretty good.
Well, you got to set it up with the run before you do that usually. Once you start just throwing the ball downfield every down, the DBs are going to look for it, and you got to keep them honest, I suppose, right? Coach keeps them down linemen on the field.
You keep them honest, but I'm going to tell you, the one thing you'd like to keep them is maybe a little bit afraid.
Yep. Well, I'm sure they're going to go back to that because you saw that a lot as you have a timeout called, I believe, by East Ascension. So that timeout will be marked to the Spartans. And so why don't we look at last week's 5-5A district results while we have this break. And it was, like we said earlier, it was a great week for Dutchtown and East Ascension. Dutchtown beat Denham 38-7. That game was one of our 2 Rev games of the week. The one that we were at last week, homecoming for East Ascension, 48-9 was the final score. And then Santa Ma, they had they were leading most of the night, and then in the fourth quarter, Walker took the lead. Then Santa Ma got 2 touchdowns. Walker came back, scored another one. It was an exciting game, and Santa Ma wound up winning 31-28.
Yeah, I talked to one of the coaches that says, I can just tell you this, nobody left the game.
No, I caught the end of it, and it was a really exciting finish. And Santa Ma had to recover an onside kick with less than a minute left to seal the victory. So it went down to the wire. A lot of suspense in that game. Of course, on the Dutchtown side, they were very happy about that result because that gives them a chance to play for a district title tonight, although they trail right now 7-0. And the snap is good. Goes to Chasson, little bubble screen, and Hanbury's going to get him down. As a late flag comes in, it's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. Let's see what the officials called. You see anything there, Coach?
Well, if that guy's calling it, I am thinking that a possible block in the back or a holding.
So there it is. You're a prophet, Coach.
I just saw him give the holding sign a little early.
Yeah, okay. So let's look at the replay and see if we can catch the penalty. Maybe the hold right there on maybe from number 11, Nigel Murphy.
Well, I would have to say the position of the official deep down the sidelines right there. We got somebody coming out.
Yeah, that's Aiden Joseph. That's their big offensive lineman. 6 foot 370.
And looks like he's having a little shoulder issue.
Perhaps. He's the biggest player on the field on either side. He's a big guy, and he's a good one. It's going to be at the 26-yard line, and a handoff up the middle. It's going to make it 3rd and long as they give it to Jeremiah Wilson. And so that's going to bring up 3rd down and 8, we're going to say.
You know, Jeff, I just truly believe for what I've been seeing, lately of Dutchtown and East Ascension, I really believe their quarterbacks have really come through for each of their team right there, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on the better half of this thing tonight.
Pressure, and he's going to run, and he's not going to get the first down as great pursuit there. by number 9, Brennan Baker. It's going to bring up 4th down. And you talk about Gotros, you see him running on the replay. He wasn't even the starter about 3 weeks ago. Hudson Browning was the starter. He got injured in the Sanamaw game, you may remember, and then Gotros come in, and he's done an outstanding job.
The part I can remember about Gotro is West Monroe and Zachary. He got some snaps, but he was standing in his end zone on every one of them. So it was a tough situation for him every time he got into the game.
So now you're going to see Lathan Riley, as it's a high snap, but he gets it. Remember, that was a problem last week, and it takes a Dutchtown bounce into East Ascension territory. So it's a good job by the punter just getting his hands on the ball, but then the punt was short and took a Dutchtown bounce. So it's a good field position for the Griffins.
15-yard punt right there, Jeff.
Yeah, but it could have been a lot worse because you remember last week you had to snap over the head. It resulted in a safety against Live Oak. So that's a much better result. They'll take that result over the safety any day of the week. But now Dutchtown trailing 7-0, and you're going to see what offensive coordinator Mike Janis has in store for Scott Pellegrin and the East Ascension defense. 1st and 10. And that's Harvey on the carry outside. Turns the corner, and he's got nothing but daylight to the 10, to the 5, and he may be short of the end zone. He is. But that guy is fast, and he gets down to the 3-yard line. He's a track star, and you can see it right there.
Just watch all the zone blocking, pulling guards right there, tackles, everybody getting outside. Good block right there. You can't see who it is, but getting down that sideline, and I'm telling you, outstanding job by Harvey. He's using every inch of that 60-yard field going across.
And he is the fastest guy probably on the field on either side, as he does a good job on track and field, as there's an injury on the field and he is in the end zone. He's just walking away right now. So Lamar Bolden had the injury, and with 5:21 left to go here in the first quarter, Dutchtown with an opportunity to tie it, and they're going to the jumbo set with Carter Hanberry, which is what they do at the end zone every week.
And I'm going to tell you, I saw some nice stuff. Look, you think it's going to the right, probably so. There it is to the right.
Hanberry
cut
close,
back.
And he is in for the touchdown, and it's 7-6. Possible tie game pending the extra point. Let's look at the replay, Coach.
Well, everybody says, Coach, he's running to the right. He's running to the right. Yeah, you know what you have to do? You have to stop these mules right there.
Yep.
And 22 Hanberry has shown me in the last couple of games. I mean, he is crucial. And then how he came out in the second half against Sanamaw, running that ball in that heavy package with some big plays, not just 2 or 3 yarders.
Michael Mathern makes the extra point, and we are tied 7-7, Dutchtown East Ascension. Let's take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at Pot and Paddle.
We're back, and it's 7-7 as Carter Hanberry scores on a 2-play, 49-yard drive. And Carter Hanberry got a lot of touchdowns on this season from that position, right?
Well, he's got 5 of them, and I'm going to tell you, it is not from a position of when they're in the shotgun, he's back there getting the ball. Can you imagine? The defensive guy, I'm getting the snaps. I'm playing quarterback right here.
And there's a short kick from Cardona, and this time fair catch taken by Jeremiah Wilson. And so they do a good job managing the pooch punt or pooch kick right there, and It's going to be 1st and 10. And a lot of fireworks here tonight. You had a 61-yard pass from Gautreaux to Chasson, and then you had the 45-yard run by Lakedron Harvey, which ended in a touchdown by Carter Hanberry.
And don't forget, this is exactly kind of how the Santa Ma and Dutchtown game started, with these exchanges, and it's at the real low scoring. Then all of a sudden, the second half, Dutchtown came out offensively and defensively with some great plays.
And there's a handoff and a short gain by Jason Blackburn, number 6. Dutchtown gave up those points on the opening drive, and they average 8 points a game on defense giving up, as they're led by defensive coordinator Chris Harrell. But they came out right away and basically just matched the average right there, Coach.
Well, when you talk about 8 points, and any defensive coordinator, that's 8's too many. And that's very understandable, but I'm going to tell you what, that's highly impressive.
Yes, it is. This could be a record-setting defense for Dutchtown. We may talk about that a little bit later as you see the penalty.
A little shift movement right there by the defensive lineman, and a lot of times they call that stemming.
Yep.
And when they did that, a couple of, maybe one or two of the offensive linemen moved for the Spartans.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 14 with 4:25 left to go in the first quarter. 7-7, Dutchtown ties East Ascension.
2 big plays, Jeff.
Yep.
2 big plays.
EA took the early strike, and then Dutchtown answered. And a quick pass behind the intended receiver. That was going to Oob, and it falls incomplete, so now it's 3rd down and long for the Spartans. So tried that little crossing route coverage right there by Jeremy Jackson, but just a little bit behind the receiver, and now it's 3rd and long.
I tell you what, Jeff, in all of football, the slant route has become very, very popular.
Yep.
And it's not just a slant and pick up 7 or 8 yards. There's a lot of big plays off of that slant, because that run pass option, RPO, has become big for everybody.
Into the first quarter in Live Oak, no score, Santa Ma and Live Oak, as Gautreaux rolls out and he's under pressure, throws deep, and in and out of the hands, nearly a long reception by Brennan Thompson, but it's going to bring up 4th down. But that ball had a little juice on it, and nice throw, but just incomplete.
And this is something that Gautreaux, he's not a real big guy, but I'm sure with his baseball career over the years, he's been throwing objects all of his life. And so, I was kind of wondering if he kept it right there, just exactly what might happen, because he looked like he was going to outrun people.
And there's a high snap, and it gets away. We saw this last week, and it's going to be another safety. And it's 9-7, as last week we saw the snap go over Ramirez's head. It resulted in a safety in the first quarter, and this is the second high snap. The first snap was high, but he's able to get onto it. As you see, number 26, that's Highland Rentz, who came in and made sure that he had to take that and almost got there in time to recover himself.
You would think week 10 that maybe we could eliminate things like that, but, don't want to be critical in any way, but I'm going to just tell you, special teams have got to be not great, but can't beat you.
Yes.
In these big games.
And when you play a 7-1 team and you give them 2 free points and then give them the ball back, that's a hard break to come from. And so you don't want to give Dutchtown free points and then give them the ball back. So that's exactly what they're going to do, and we're going to see Caden Mackey back deep. He's the deep threat. He got a touchdown on a kick return in the Jamboree game against East Ascension. Dutchtown beat East Ascension 21-7 in that, or make it 20-7 in the Jamboree matchup. And looks like he's going to get it again. It's a good kick, though. Taking it to 26. And Mackey's going to try the left side. Waits, makes a move past midfield. Down to the 40, and there's a flag. It may come a little bit back. But it was a great return by Mackey, and but it looks like you're gonna get a late block penalty. That's what you always see right there, huh?
Well, yeah, there's no doubt, but the flag was thrown way behind the ball carrier.
Yeah.
And that's all the way back to the 46-yard line, and you can see
10 yards for holding on the return.
That would have given them great field position. And look here on the replay. Let's see if we can find anything.
And Coach Mastretta say, we can't do this, guys.
Yeah.
You know, we have a chance to make things happen right here early in the first quarter.
Yeah. This is a 24-yard net penalty right here because they got the ball down to the 40-yard line, and now it's going to be marked all the way back to their own 36. So that's a big break for East Ascension. And you see that all the time on these returns. And victimized right there. Oakland, you got a good shot of him looking to the sidelines. Mike Janis in there somewhere telling him what to call. Good snap, pass, a little contact and a flag as they're going to get Lamar Bolden making early contact on Tyler Adams, number 2.
Intended for Adams.
So it's still going to be first down. Pass interference.
Penalized for pass interference.
So Dutchtown leads 9-7 after the safety on the bad snap on the punt, and it's going to go all the way into East Ascension territory at the 49-yard line as we get an update from Live Oak. Live Oak leads Sandoval 3-0 in the second quarter.
And, you know, the Spartans are missing Tanner Stanga in that secondary. Hurt a couple of games ago, and I think basically out for the season.
Yes. He had that broken leg or broken ankle in the Walker game. That's Gary Dukes under pressure, but cuts outside and gets about 3 when it looked like he was going to be dropped for a loss. And it looked like McZeal down there, Isom as well, making the tackle. It's going to be second down.
Well, Dukes does a good job of getting outside all this congestion right here.
Yep.
Second down, 7 for the Griffins.
So actually 19 and 12, that's the DBs, Ernest Mitchell and Deron McZeal making the tackle. So a gain of 2. And it's second down and 8 for the Griffins, trying to make this a 2-score game as you see DeSherry in motion. And gives it to Harvey. He's going to try the left side, and he's going to be dropped for a loss.
Good job defensively right there because Janice, offensive coordinator Janice, lined up with 2 wingbacks, which is basically lining up 2 tight ends with only 2 wide receivers, trying to get extra blocking in there to maybe break through for a big play. And here it is, a 1 or 2 yard gain on that particular play.
96, John Brown makes the tackle. Third down and 8 for Dutchtown. Both teams have had one big play, and other than that, the defenses have been ruling the day. East Ascension took the 7-0 lead, but Dutchtown has answered with 9 straight. And now looking right, and it's overthrown, and that's hard to do. You got Dylan DeSherry right there, who's 6'3", but pass goes incomplete, and it's a 4th down. Big stand by Scott Pellegrin's defense.
That was a good job right there defensively, because when you look at, with the penalty situation, and here you are at midfield. Remember, last drive was at midfield.
Yep.
It started at midfield.
So you're going to have McZeal and Oob back to receive the punt from Casey McCoy, who set up back at his own 37-yard line. As we have 1:55 left to go in the first. And a line drive. And it's going to take a bounce. And I believe he touched it. He's going to have to take the touchback, though. So he got his hands on it, so he had to go retrieve it. and he's going to take the touchback back at the 20.
Yeah, and that's one of those deals on a muff right there, which is what it would be if Dutchtown would have recovered it. It would have gone back to wherever it was touched, I guess.
Yes.
Somewhere inside the 10-yard line.
I believe that he had touched it, but it was close.
Well, he went after it like he touched it. I know that.
Yep. So Gotro and company take the field for their third drive of the night. Their previous drive ended with a 3-and-out and a safety on a bad snap on the punt.
And let's see if we see Joseph. Did he come back in?
Not sure.
On the offensive line.
Chasson goes in motion. He's now set up in the left slot, and he gets the ball and pushed out of bounds after a short gain. And Chasson's been the difference maker for East Ascension. He's made a lot of big plays. He made a couple of big plays last week in the Live Oak win. He caught the 61-yard touchdown pass today. So he's got about 580 yards, roughly speaking, on the season at this point, and 4 touchdowns.
And now you have trips into the sideline. And Dutchtown brings them all over there, and let's see what happens.
Wrapped up from behind by number 92 for Dutchtown, but it's going to be a first down. The tackle made by Darville again, but it's a EA first down. On the carry by Jeremiah Wilson. As you see us getting to possibly the last set of downs here in the first quarter. Pretty quick moving first half, 9-7, Dutchtown with the lead. Taking their time right now, still kind of in an informal huddle without the receivers. And you got the empty backfield and the 5 receivers. I believe that's Taj Washington in a slot. Now he's getting in the backfield, and he's going to get the ball. And he gets about 5 on the play before Brennan Baker trips him up. Let's call it 6.
Well, both offensive coordinators are doing an outstanding job as far as mixing up the plays.
Yes.
You know, you have some inside and you have some outside. You have run pass, play action. And, you know, the big thing that I see is they haven't been able to drive the ball down the field, but they have made some big plays which allow them to score.
And you would expect them to maybe try to go up top at some point again here pretty soon. On 2nd and 4, they give it to Taj Washington, and Brennan Baker, Blake Bowie are going to stop that short of a first down by about 3 yards on what may be the final play of the first quarter. So when we come back, we are going to see what offensive coordinator Tyler Gaspard has in store for the Dutchtown defense as they head to the sidelines. And it was a fun first quarter. Dutchtown comes back with 9 unanswered. They lead 9-7 over East Ascension at the end of the first. We'll take a break. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Walk-Ons, We Live for This, Glaze, Heating and Air, SKR Construction, Austin Fire Systems, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine Program.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. Dutchtown at East Ascension. Dutchtown leads 9-7. Jeff Porsche, David Swacker with you as you see the offense talking it over with Coach Darnell Lee as it's going to be 3rd down and 3 as the offense heads back on the field. We do see number 79, the big offensive lineman, Aiden Joseph, back in the game, so he's back from his injury. And so it's going to be 3rd down and 3 and a big play for East Ascension on offense. And Chris Harrell, the defensive coordinator at Dutchtown, who's done such a great job and has given up so few points on this season, we'll see what he has dialed up for the East Ascension offense.
Run or pass here, Jeff?
Likely a quick pass. No, they give it up the middle, and that was nearly wrapped up, and now he's got a first down before Hanbury upends him. That was Jeremiah Wilson.
Well, you look at Gotro right there, and he says, man, get here in a hurry, running back, because they are coming right now.
Diego Spears nearly got him in the backfield, but he was able to break free. Jeremiah Wilson is the number 2 rusher out of the backfield. He's got 280 yards. This is not a traditional run-first kind of offense for East Ascension. They don't have that workhorse back that they usually have, but they have some running backs out there. As a quick pass, nearly picked on the rebound, and a late flag may get roughing the passer, maybe a hold. Let's see. Looks like it may be Martinez and Lewis who got into it on the line of scrimmage. We'll wait for the call. It's a hold, and that's on Martinez. Martinez was tied up with Josh Lewis. I don't know. Let's look on the replay and see. He's on the upper corner, and you see the takedown right there after the pass was already thrown.
I thought they might go deep there. You know, when you're throwing deep, you can't necessarily say he's open. You want to always try to throw him open right there. Of course, you could always get the interference, but you could also get the big play too.
Now you have the empty backfield, and earlier we saw the back in motion get the ball on the carry, and you see Brennan Thompson right there, and he gets it, and that time Blake Bowie was not fooled. And it's going to be second down and really long after the holding penalty and the loss.
Boy, watch right here. You know, you always have to respect that ball is going to be handed off defensively. You just can't be looking into the backfield. Goes across right there, does a good job of getting to the outside, clogging up that outside run, and then you can see right there 3 or 4 Dutchtown kids getting in there to help the play on the tackle.
And so now it's second down and more than 20. The ball is at the 32. They got to get to the 44 of Dutchtown. And knocked out of bounds. And is there a flag? Some of the EA side is looking for maybe a hit out of bounds by Lathan Riley, but there's no flag. So it's a clean hit, and it's going to be third down.
Well, we got a little fake and go right there.
It's close, but they go with no foul, and so they are 18 yards away from a first down at the 39-yard line. So this game's kind of slowed down a bit after the early big plays and settled into more of a defensive struggle, which is kind of what you expect with these two teams. Gotro looking in trouble, and he is eventually dropped as just wild pursuit. You see Brennan Baker and Diego Spears and company back there with the sack.
And you see Gotro right there. I thought it was pretty good pass protection there. And you could see that Coach Harrell's group did a very good job of sealing up the outside so Gotro couldn't break loose down on the outside. And
Ramirez set the punt for the Spartans.
So now fourth down and very long, and there's a good snap. And the pressure block, and Dutchtown is going to get it at the 2-yard line as another problem on the special teams as Jeremy Jackson recovers it, and it's blocked by Carter Hanbury. So another special teams disaster for East Ascension, and that's been the difference so far here tonight, Coach.
And there's a reason you call them special teams, because you got special players performing some special duties.
And the Dutchtown is 1 yard away from getting into the end zone. And you see they don't go with the jumbo package. They go with Oakwin and Dukes. And it's Dukes And he is in for the touchdown, and it's 15-9 pending the extra point.
So why do you think they did not go with the big boy in there in the jumbo package?
Well, I've seen them kind of opt for the traditional backfield at the 1 yard line. When they're pushed back a little bit to like the 3 or 4, that's when they like to do the big package, it seems. But I think they were going to take their shot on first down and see if they could get it in the normal fashion, and they did. That's a touchdown for Gary Dukes. And that's his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. Extra point coming from Mathern, excuse me. And it's good. And it's 16-7 with 9:27 left to go in the first. As you see, the touchdown from Gary Dukes. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Walk-Ons, We Live for This, Glaze, Heating and Air, SKR Construction, Austin Fire Systems, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine Program.
So after the blocked punt by Carter Hanbury, which was recovered on the 1 by Jeremy Jackson, took DUTCHTOWN 1 play to go 1 yard on a 1 yard touchdown run by Gary Dukes. And now it's 16-7. DUTCHTOWN with the lead, and that's 9 points given up by special teams, Coach.
And no matter what level you're at, those things right there in big games, and this is a big game right here. And boy, I don't know, it's just disappointing that, here you are. Coach Lee's probably not real happy about the call on the –
yeah.
And I could understand that.
What he's arguing about is that there was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty called after the extra point, and so now – you have the ball at the 45, so DUTCHTOWN's kicking from the EA 45, and now they've brought in their field goal kicker, an extra point man, number 15, Michael Mathern, to handle this. This could be a possible onside kick. Maybe.
Why not? You've been kicking the ball to the 35-yard line. Onside kick would be to the 35-yard line.
And no, they go for the psych out right there, I guess, as they go through the end zone. So the touchback, and they'll take it to the 20. I think that kind of faked everybody out there, Coach.
Yeah, that's not what I'd done, but that's where I'm here right now.
Well, it's interesting, but DUTCHTOWN has had the advantage on special teams here tonight, as it's 16-7, and 9 of the 16 points for DUTCHTOWN. The first 2 of those 9 came on a safety, on a snap that was over the punter's head. And then the next 7 came on a snap that was good, but too much pressure. Carter Hanbury came through and blocked it, got it at the 1, and then scored on the next play. So there's 9:27 left to go before halftime. And
so
DUTCHTOWN with the lead.
Coach Mastretta saying if we can just get them to line up in that punt formation.
Looks like we're going to try the kick again.
And why are we kicking again?
I'm not sure. May have done it before the whistle, before everything was set.
Are we in the same spot on the field, kicking the ball off?
Yes. And so that's, again, Michael Mathern. He is a backup receiver and the place kicker for the Griffins. You usually see Manuel Cardona handling the kickoffs. And there it is again, touchback.
The kick goes out the end zone for a touchback.
So we're set up again.
They're on the 20-yard line.
So now East Ascension, they've gone about a quarter without scoring points, about the equivalent of a quarter, as they scored early on their opening drive. But since then, they've had to attempt to punt twice, unsuccessfully. But they are in a hole right now, trailing by 2 scores, but still a close game. And this is where you're always looking for number 8, Chasson. You see him right there on the field. But Chasson's a guy that can make this a close game in a hurry, Coach.
Well, he was lined up on the left side, which is where he is right now, and he lines up most of the time there when he ran that deep route.
And there's Taj Washington, and he'll get a few on first down. He's going to get about 6, and it's going to be second down and 4. So let's look at the on the replay here. Martinez nearly looked like he nearly blocked the right defensive end right into the quarterback.
Yeah, we call that an Olay block. Martinez needs to step up.
Right. A little trouble there so far. Good observation, Coach. Second down and 4. And there's Taj again, and that time they're ready, and that's no gain as Brennan Baker's down at the bottom of the pile, and then he rolls over, and he's hurt, and they're going to ask for some assistance. And so we're going to keep it here for a moment as they tend to the injured DUTCHTOWN Griffin. And while they tend to Brennan Baker, let's take a look at the games tonight that are happening in 5A. We've alluded to them already, and we've talked about one of the other scores that's happening here in District 5A. Of course, we have DUTCHTOWN at East Ascension, our REV game of the week. Santa Ma trails Live Oak 3-0 in the second quarter. In our last update, a bit of a surprise, Santa Ma playing for a share of the district title tonight. Walker is also playing for a share of the district title. They're playing against Denham Springs, and Walker leads Denham Springs 14-0 in that game in the first quarter. So right now, 2 of the 3 teams that are playing for a share of the district title are winning. One is trailing. Still early in all of these games. There was no gain on the previous play as Baker is taken care of, and he's back to the sideline, and now it's third down and 4 for the Spartans, and they need to get a first down here, if not not just to continue this drive, but to not set up for a punt deep in their own territory like you've seen that have caused a problem so far here tonight.
For the Spartans at their own 25.
So now third down. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Gotro looking left, flushed, going to run, and he's getting the first down before taking down. And I think he's there. Lathan Riley made the tackle, and he did get the first down. DUTCHTOWN cheering about a hard tackle, but they're not going to get the ball back. It's going to be a first down. You see Lathan Riley just come up there and swoop down on the quarterback, but not before he got the first down.
Well, I'm not real certain. I know in some of the leagues, the NFL and stuff like that, they're protecting the quarterback. Maybe in the college level, not real certain if that's the case at the high school level.
And Taj Washington takes it up the middle for a yard or 2.
Goes up the middle.
They like trying that middle, but so far DUTCHTOWN has been up to task. That was number 98, Josh Lewis, making the tackle. We're approaching halftime. We're about halfway through the second quarter. Don't forget, at halftime, we're going to have the East Ascension Band performing their halftime Metallica show, which they are filming tonight for a competition, trying to win a Metallica competition with their tribute show here tonight. And we're going to talk about DUTCHTOWN and East Ascension staying alive in girls volleyball. They play tomorrow, both teams. Second down and 9. Deep pass, looking for Brennan Thompson. Caught, and he's going to get to the 20, and he's going to get into the end zone. And just like that, it wasn't Chasson, it was Brennan Thompson. And their speed on the outside is just giving DUTCHTOWN fits.
And I'm going to just tell you, you can look at your quarterback. I mean, he is fighting his tail off, and he's throwing it down there probably as far as he can get. Thompson, an outstanding job right there, maneuvering there, because it's not thrown like over the outside shoulder or whatever. Thompson makes the adjustments, breaks the tackle right there, and gets into the end zone.
And so Ramirez will try to cut this to a 2-point game with 7:09 left to go.
You know what coaches say. the big plays count just like the long drives.
And it's 16-14. This has been a fun one so far at Spartan Stadium, and we're going to take a break. Dutchtown with the lead, but EA coming back. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Walk-Ons, We Live for This, Glaze, Heating and Air, SKR Construction, Austin Fire Systems, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine Program.
16-14, Dutchtown with the lead after the home run ball, the second home run ball of the night. Look at the replay right there. That's Gotro to Thompson, and they've beaten Dutchtown secondary twice here tonight, Coach.
And I'm not real certain this is exactly how they put it in the script, but probably need about 10 more in the second half like that.
So there's patience from Mackey, and then he cuts outside to the right and gets to about the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 for Dutchtown. Update from Live Oak. Sanamaw has taken the lead by a score of 7-3. So Sanamaw with a chance to get a share of the district title and doing their work so far. Dutchtown wants a share of the district title. They lead, but EA is giving them fits in the passing game here tonight.
And in the case for East Ascension, the long pass, successful long pass, maybe the shorter passes are open.
You got to look for that in the future for sure. 1st and 10, 29-yard line. Oakwin and Dukes. Dukes gets a little swing pass, 1st down, and then some to around the 45-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 44 for the Griffins. So a nice little wheel route there.
No, nobody covering in the flat out there, and so Dukes. And look, let me tell you, when he catches that ball right there on that swing, and a nicely thrown ball right there, you could turn up and be a very good athlete with your shoulders square.
Tackle eventually made by Lamar Bolden. 1st and 10 from the 44. And there's a run up the middle. Duke's going to get about 5. Hard running by the Dutchtown running back. And he is taken down by number 15, Nathan Allen. And 5-yard gain, and really you got 3 running threats on the Dutchtown side. You have Dukes with 515 yards. Kedron Harvey, as you see, movement by Mayo. And it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, making it 2nd and 10. But you got 3 threats in the backfield. You got Gary Dukes with 515 yards. You got LaKedron Harvey with 572 yards on the season. He already broke a long one. And then Oakwin out of the quarterback spot has 377 yards rushing on that RPO play. And so they got a 3-headed monster back there.
And been very successful for a couple of years now with that situation.
Oakwin gets the snap. Low. And Harvey cuts outside, spin move, will not get the 1st down. He's short by a couple of yards, but a good move by Harvey. He has the long 45-yard run that set up the touchdown by Carter Hanbury. Nice spin move. And I believe that was Dawson Landry, number 38, who comes in to make the tackle. And now it's 3rd and 2 on the East Ascension side of the field with 5:48 left to go before halftime. Shotgun, Oakwin and Harvey. Another low snap, and he has trouble, and he's going to get free, and A hard hit by Bryce Harkless, but not before he gets the first down. So save the day right there. Look at it. He loses it. Took him almost a second to pick up the ball, and then you got some good blockers on the right side. Gets the first.
Well, that's the last couple of snaps have been a little bit low right there, and he's done an outstanding job of getting control of it and making a positive play out of it.
And so that's what we were talking about. He's part of that three-headed monster in the backfield. Oakland can throw the ball, too. You're going to see that later tonight, most likely. And a quick pitch to Harvey. And he's got the corner, and he's going to get about 4 or 5 before he's pushed out of bounds.
Harvey goes around the right side.
Just the thing that sticks out for him is his quickness. He's got the nicest burst out there on the field for the Griffins.
You know, you're running into the sideline right there, and there's some pluses and some minuses in that situation. But the big plus is you pick up 4 yards right there into the sideline.
And he's replaced by Gary Dukes. Shotgun, second down. Low snap again. And, again, that timing is off. And this time, Shaquan Isom throws him down, and it's 3rd and 10.
We might have snapping tryouts on the field here.
Yeah. You've had both sides that have been it's been costly. It's been more costly for East Ascension, but the timing on this drive has been completely thrown by those low snaps, don't you think?
Well, this is what I always say. The quarterback, if the ball is snapped low, that means he is going to have to drop his head.
Yes.
And he loses all contact of reads or secondary people or whatever.
3rd down. There's a good snap. And throwing the wheel route to Dukes. And he breaks a tackle, had some momentum, and gets past the first down marker. And it's a first down for the Griffins. As just a little bit of speed right there. You know, we talk about Harvey having the speed. He's got some speed right there and gets that first down.
That's what I just talked about.
Yeah.
The route, there's nobody covering that Dukes right there when he gets out there. So his shoulders become square, and he becomes a very good athlete right there, be able to get plus yardage.
First down at the 39 with 3:58 left to go. DUTCHTOWN has kind of a dual purpose right here. They could run clock, and they could get into scoring position. As Gary Dukes gets it on the left side, tries to cut outside. Good pursuit by McZeal, closes that gap, and Jupiter makes the tackle. But it's going to be a gain of about 2, so it's going to be 2nd down and 8 for the Griffins. So you see that play right there. Again, Zachary Jupiter from his linebacker position plays the Mike spot. 2nd and 8, and you see 3 receivers on the right. Got a tight end on the left side. Dukes in the backfield. And looking, flushed, rolls out, throws, and it's high and caught at the marker. Let's see if they give him a first down. I don't think they did. That's going to be caught by number 3, Logan Mayo, and it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Nice job on the scramble, getting outside. Still looking, the whole time he's looking downfield, finding that open receiver. Well, that ball probably should have been marked past that line.
I think that you could see him with the ball past the 25-yard line.
And got knocked backwards, so
right.
Probably not a very good spot right there.
It's 3rd and 1. Dukes, the back in this situation. Dukes is going to get it flipped and not going to get the first down. Who made that flip right there? That looks like, I think that's number 7.
Boy, I thought the hole was wide open right here for DUTCHTOWN. And linebacker right there.
That's number 4, the cornerback, Harkless. They lose a yard.
So you lose a yard, and so now you create a situation, maybe the long snap count.
Yeah. You have 1:45 left to go.
Do you bring in heavy right here, Jeff?
They did. They bring in Jumbo with Hanberry. Good call, Coach. 1:38 left to go. Hanberry's going to try that left side, and he's got it by a mile. And he's still pushing ahead. He's to the 10 and still going. Wow.
Oh,
what a surge by the Dutchtown offensive line and the big guys. Look at the replay right there, and you see the big guys, Diego Spears, Josh Lewis. Look at those guys. Those are defensive linemen pushing the line ahead. Now they're going to say forward momentum.
I don't know about that one.
Let's see. No, there's a flag at the end of the play. Let's see what the flag is. Clock is stopped at 1:28. Now, Dutchtown has plenty of timeouts. They have all 3 timeouts remaining. The only timeout this half was called by East Ascension early in the first quarter.
Well, you have a situation where your Dutchtown defense is on offense, and that's not everybody.
Yes.
And they have the ability, and probably from watching TV, you see this from time to time, of how much offensive linemen take so much pride in what they're doing. And once Hanbury was vertical right there and moving his legs, the offensive line said, let me join this group.
Yeah, and the penalty is going to possibly negate it, as you see the push.
Against the Griffins for assistance.
Yeah.
With the run.
So the ball's going to be back at the 35, and it looks like they're marking it as 4th down, so the whole play is negated. So now it's 4th and 6, and they're still in the jumbo. And now Guy Mastretta, I think, is going to finally, right here, possibly call a timeout. Or he's actually he wants some explanation on why that may not be a first down. So there may be some debate right here.
So what about last year, the little dump pass?
Yeah, that little the jump pass, little Tebow pass that won the game. Looks like the jumbo's coming out, and they're going to keep the offense on the field. And they're going to go with Harvey in the backfield. It looks like Mastretta lost the appeal.
Yeah, I don't think Jumbo is out. I think regular O is in.
So it's Harvey in the backfield with Oakland. This could be a big play right here. 4th down and 6. And looking downfield, knocked away by Isom. They're trying to go downfield to the Sherry, but the stop by the linebacker, and it's East Ascension ball with 1:08 left to go before halftime. That's a big play right there because Dutchtown gets points on the board right there. They also get the ball to start the second half.
Eyes on the quarterback. Yep. Eyes on the quarterback. And nice job right there by Isom.
So with East Ascension with the ball, what do you think that defensive coordinator Chris Harrell is saying right here? Is it something like, whatever you do, do not let the guy break coverage on the home run ball?
Or don't
let him get behind you.
Don't have a penalty when our defense is running down the field with the ball.
Well, yeah.
And having a lot of success at it.
That was a big break right there for East Ascension as Dutchtown got the first down on 4th and 1, but then were penalized for assistance. And then it was unsuccessful and it's intercepted. And here's Hanbury, who's going to score. And we have seen this before from Carter Hanbury. He is the big strike guy. He got a touchdown on offense, and he has a touchdown on defense with the pick 6, and it's 22-14.
It comes from his linebacker spot. You barely see him. He's out of the screen. And look, this is like a hitch to the sidelines. Great job of coverage into the corner there. And the cornerback had everything covered there as far as if there was a catch. Nice job there on the coverage. Hanbury, boy. So his name gets mentioned offensively, defensively.
And I mentioned he's a possibility as a defensive player of the year in this district. He just showed why. He might be the MVP of the district. The extra point is good. It's 23-14. Let's take a break. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Walk-Ons, We Live for This, Glaze, Heating and Air, SKR Construction, Austin Fire Systems, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine Program.
So, Coach, Dutchtown has scored on defense with the touchdown on the pick six by Hanbury. Hanbury scored an offensive touchdown on a run and a special teams safety and a blocked punt by Carter Hanbury. And so they scored in all facets of the game so far.
Yeah, there's, basically offensively, they're really not beating you.
Not really.
But everybody's participating in the score that they have. Ideal what a coach would like right there.
Short kick and fair catch called for and made successfully by number 38 for East Ascension, Dawson Landry. And so even though it's an offense touchdown, a defense touchdown, and a blocked punt on special teams, who had all of them? Carter Hanbury. Carter Hanbury is without a doubt the best player on this Dutchtown team, offensively or defensively, and you might say offensively and defensively.
Well, he's making things known that he is a very outstanding. And look, that interception.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't drop to the corner. I mean, to the sideline right there. You have usually a little drop zone.
And they're going to do the run right here. Bit of a surprise. Jeremiah Wilson
off the right side.
And that goes inside of a minute. Maybe they're a little spooked by the pick six, Coach.
But the whole thing is, evidently he read the quarterback, and he took off to the sidelines right there.
Yeah.
Not to the hook zone, to the sidelines, because he caught that on the run, and that receiver was basically running a hook route or hitch route at the sidelines.
And they are just taking their time. I don't think they are really, well, they may save a home run ball before the end of the half right here, has problems with the snap, and that's not going to be optimal as it's caught out of bounds by Brennan Thompson. So there's 17 seconds left. Maybe they go deep for one play with 17 seconds left. But the problem is, Coach, Dutchtown's going to get the ball to start the second half.
The problem is that Dutchtown has 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
And it's third down, and we could create, they can, Coach Guy Mastretta can create a punt situation here, and why not?
Forgot to mention a moment ago, Santa Ma leads at halftime at Live Oak, but only by a score of 7-3. So Live Oak keeping it close at the half. And there's a handoff, big hole. Better be careful there, and they are able to wrap them up down to the 40 with 9-8. And they may be set up for the Hail Mary right now, and the timeout is going to be called. And so now you set up for the only thing that's worked so far here tonight on offense is a long pass.
You're looking at Chris Harrell, and I would venture to say maybe 3 deep, real deep. Somewhere between the 20 and the 10. And then you rush some people to make sure that quarterback isn't able to just sit back there for a little while and let everybody get deep. And if somebody catches it, you got to make sure. Don't try to pull out the ball. Tackle that ball carrier, and we go in here.
So, Coach.
Down by, what is that, 9?
Yep. So, Coach, if they set up for the Hail Mary, and this is what you're kind of guessing for, so Chris Harrell, what do you do? Put 22 on the end zone? You put him right there and just wait for it?
22, I got him resting on the sideline over there.
Well, he could put pressure on the quarterback, and you never know. Let's see if he's on the field. He is. He's going to be set up in the left slot position on the Dutchtown side of the field. You see him right there, 22. His back is to the screen. He's going to be covering Oob, number 16. And now they're telling Hanbury to set up, and now Dutchtown may call a timeout. Can you call back-to-back timeouts?
Sure.
They're just going to go and opt for the play, it looks like. Shotgun. Gotro. Deep. It's underthrown, and it's going to fall harmlessly incomplete, and the time has run out. It's halftime, and it's Dutchtown 23, or should we say Carter Hanbury 23, East Ascension 14. We're going to take a break, and we're going to get the Metallica show from the East Ascension band, and I'm going to talk some volleyball and some other things. So we're going to take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Looking for an extraordinary education opportunity? Introducing Ascension Public Schools Early College Option Program, where you can earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree from River Parishes Community College at the same time. Experience the best of both worlds as high school seamlessly blends with college coursework in a rigorous yet supportive program. Yet stay connected to your home high school through clubs, organizations, and sports. And here's the best part. Students pay no tuition or textbook cost. Ascension Public Schools Early College Option Program, where your future begins today.
B.T. Chapman and A.J. Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Dutchtown High School's athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Griffins!
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
It's halftime, 23-14. Dutchtown leads East Ascension. They're introducing Teachers of the Year as Dirk Shakesnyder, who has been a friend to Rev Sports, is being introduced right now. So let's take it to the field.
He is a sponsor of the EAL leaders, but most appreciated by Ms. Laginus when he picks up a substitute bus route in the afternoon. Next up, our support personnel of the year, Mr. Tony Tran. Mr. Tony has served EA for the last 6 years as a dedicated member of our custodial staff. Mr. Tony is always willing to go above and beyond his normal daily tasks to make sure everything is running smoothly at school. For homecoming, he was the star of Spirit Week, winning Best Dressed as a surfer and a gnome. And finally, our student of the year, Mr. Tanner Stenga. Tanner is a member of the Spartan football and baseball teams. He is also a member of the EAL leaders, National Honor Society, and Senior Mentors. Tanner has made All-District and All-State Honor Band and plays for the Louisiana Youth Orchestra. He is also a member of the Boy Scouts and in the process of completing his Eagle Scout badge. And he currently reigns as the 2023 Homecoming King. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for all these folks one more time.
So introductions of the Teachers of the Year. We're getting ready for the halftime show. I want to point out Dirk Shakesnyder now has won Teacher of the Year at 2 Ascension Parish schools. He won it previously at Dutchtown High School, and now he's Teacher of the Year at East Ascension High School.
Spartan Nation, it's halftime in Spartan Stadium. Tonight we do things a little differently. The Pride of EA has entered an international contest hosted by the legendary metal band Metallica. Tonight, we will record our performance with a chance of winning $25,000 after our dazzling Spartanettes take the field. Our girls are dancing to that Elton John hit, I'm Still Standing. for our Spartanettes. As our stage changes, we want to encourage all of our fans to get involved with our show tonight. Cheer when you see or hear something you like. Our band and color guard members will be holding signs up during the show. Scream along with us. You have the chance to help our band win $25,000.
Is there something I can help you with the band, sir? Sir, is there something I can help you with the band? No. Sure. What now? Sir, is there something I can help you with about the band? I was in the band for 14 years. Yeah, it's don't give me no shit about helping with the band. No. I'm asking what your concern is.
Everyone on their feet. The Pride of EA Spartan Band is on tour. It brings you their show, Band Eterna, featuring the music of the Big Four thrash metal band, Metallica. Our set list for tonight's concert is Creeping Death, Fade to Black, Lux Eterna, and Master of Puppets. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Caden Darman, Cole Hewitt, and Colin Lepore. Drum majors, is your band ready to shred? Spartan Stadium, stand up and scream! Here comes the Pride of EA on tour.
So a great performance by the East Ascension Spartan Band, led by Charles Lee, and that's their Metallica show that they're trying to win a contest for, and an outstanding job by all of them. And it's halftime, 14 points for EA, but Dutchtown leads 23-14, and we're going to spend the rest of halftime talking about volleyball because a lot of great things are happening here in Ascension Parish. The two teams playing tonight in football are also advancing in volleyball. You see right there, the by-district round was played on Wednesday. Dutchtown, the 3 seed, beat Covington in 3 sets. East Ascension with the upset over St. Joe's. They won that in 4 sets, and so they play tomorrow, and those are going to be at 11 a.m. Central Lafourche at Dutchtown, and East Ascension at Mount Carmel. So those are going to be happening. And let's go ahead and take a look at some shots from these two teams. Let's start with Dutchtown, because Dutchtown, they defeated Covington 3-0. Third-seeded Dutchtown won in straight sets in the Griffin Gym. Veteran coach Pat Ricks now is in his 18th season. They are the 3 seed for the 2nd straight year, and that's tying for the highest in school history. Dutchtown will play Central Lafourche tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. in a regional game, hoping to punch their ticket with a school record 6th straight year in the Oshner LHSAA State Volleyball Tournament, which starts Thursday in the Cajun Dome in Lafayette. Now the team, let's take a look at the senior girls if we can. And those girls in our shot would be Hadley Walker, Sydney Berry, Riley Wall, Mackenzie Bear, Madison Sanchez, and Mackenzie Rodriguez. On the second row, you have Kendall Davis, Zoe Lacaz, Mackenzie Denson, Natalie Heinerman, and Brennan Coe. So congratulations to the Lady Griffins. Now for the Lady Spartans. The Spartans defeated St. Joe's 3-1. They advanced to round 2 of the Division State playoffs with the upset over 15 seed St. Joe's. Leaders for the Spartans in their by-district round win included Courtney Grayson, who had a team-high 14 kills. Avery Wheat finished with 11 kills and 17 digs, while Skylar Rand had 30 assists and 16 digs. Libero Corinne Wagaspak added 16 digs. EA, the number 18 seed, will face 2nd seeded Mount Carmel tomorrow morning in New Orleans with a berth into the LHSAA state tournament on the line. Mount Carmel has won 6 straight titles in the past. That was from 2014 to 2019. So it's going to be a tough one, but they're ready for the competition. Let's take a look at the seniors for East Ascension. You see them right there. Skylar Rand, Corinne Wagaspak, Danielle DeFelice, and Avery Wheat. So both teams, you saw the shots in the package there for East Ascension. That was during the Go Pink game, which was played a couple of weeks ago against Dutchtown, and they lost that in 5 sets, but that kind of catapulted them and built their confidence, and they wound up, after losing that, winding up winning the playoff game in a big upset over St. Joseph. And so that's something to check out for tomorrow. If you're in the area, Dutchtown will be playing at home, or if you're in New Orleans, you go see East Ascension as they try to make history for that program.
And Jeff, Robin Fambro, as we wait on East Ascension to get out here to kick the ball off, who's covering the game tonight, said unbelievable yesterday in the EA St. Joe game. They split the first 2 games, then St. Joe went up 17-10 in the 3rd game. So you kind of figure East Ascension's going to fold, St. Joe moves on. Just the complete opposite. The Lady Spartans caught fire and ended up beating St. Joe. Big victory right there for them.
And now the second half underway, and you see the kick taken by Mackey. He gets to the 30, and a good job taking him down by number 40. That's Gavin Clayton. And so it's 1st and 10 for Dutchtown, and we talked about the games meaning something in 5-5A. The other games all at the half. You had Walker leading against Denham Springs 21-7, and you had 7-3 Sandoval with the lead over Live Oak. And so all 3 teams that could win a share of the district title were all winning at halftime. Right here you have Dutchtown leading 23-14.
Well, let's see what happens here in the second half in all of these games.
So 1st and 10. And this is Mackey in that Wildcat package. And you saw that a few times when we covered the game against Santamar. Mackey started the second half at quarterback, and he gets the big gain and a 1st and 10 for the Griffins. So that's that new wrinkle that they brought in, and it's been successful so far.
Didn't they start the second half of Santamar game?
Exactly.
Something very similar to this.
Yes.
It becomes part of their package of getting physical with those offensive linemen.
They got a big offensive line. So now 1st and 10 past midfield. And this is Mackey again tripped up. But if he could have threaded the needle there between the McZeal and Bolden, he would have had 6 right there, Coach.
And wide open. Watch right here, the blocking. He's reading that defensive end right there. He goes out to help on that, and wide open. Tight end, somebody's going inside on that linebacker.
And he's keeping it again. Runs into a wall right at the 1st down marker. And I think he may be shy by about a yard, according to the spots from the officials. So I'm thinking 3rd and 1. They had not marked a 1st down yet. So the ball to 40. They got to get to the 39, just inside. They don't even need to get to the 39, maybe just about a foot shy of the 39 to get a 1st down. So it's probably a 3rd down, about 2 feet.
So let's see what we have right here. Looks like a heavy package.
Yep, Carter Hanberry.
Running to the right, you think?
Well, that's what they've done so far. You see the blocking. You saw Diego Spears just break a couple of guys. And a late flag, you saw this again, the late flag. Last time they ran this offense, you had the assistance penalty by pushing them ahead. Now they're going to get called for a hold. So this jumbo hasn't been stopped all season, but now it's twice in a row, Coach.
Well, it's, basically watch this. He's going here, but he's got his eye squared up where he can cut right back right there.
Yep. But you had the penalty that negated it. So you had the assistance where you had the push from behind by the offensive lineman that negated the last attempt on 4th down and 1. Now you have the holding penalty on 3rd down and 1. And so now it's 3rd down and 11. And now you're going to get out of that Wildcat package, and you're going to see Oakland in the game for the first time here in the second half at quarterback. Takes the snap. Looking right all the way. Throwing up, and it's nearly picked off by McZeal, trying to get it to Mayo, but McZeal read that all the way, jumped the route, falls incomplete.
McZeal, but I would prefer, it's a little fake the hitch right there. Get down that sideline a little bit more. Stay on that sideline, get away from that deep safety.
So this is the second time that Dutchtown has converted on a 1 yard to go situation and then lost it on the penalty. And now it's going to result in a punting situation, 4th and 11 from midfield. Casey McCoy to punt for the Griffins. Got McZeal and Oob back to receive, and a great snap and a high punt. Does a good job. Fair catch called, taken at the 12. I want to talk about the punts because you've seen the situation where East Ascension had the block punt and the punt that went over the punter set for the safety. Something that we haven't brought up, that we should have brought up in the past, but we didn't think about it. The long snapper for East Ascension is Tanner Stanga, and he was injured in the Walker game, and so they had to make a change in that long snapper spot, and you can tell that has caused problems for East Ascension.
Well, it's caused problems the last 2 weeks, and but the thing that that I would try to do that is, let's be positive about this, guys. If we don't have to punt, we're ahead right now.
It's been a very competitive game, as you see the lineman Aiden Joseph move. And so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. East Ascension's offense has come on 2 big, long plays, both 60-plus yard touchdown passes from Caden Gautreaux. One was to Jackson Chasson, and the other one was to Brennan Thompson. And other than that, they haven't had much offense, but neither has Dutchtown. Dutchtown's had one long run by Lakedron Harvey, but they scored on a 1-yard drive and they scored on a pick six, so their offense hasn't exactly been lighting things up either. 23-14, 10-10 left to go in the third quarter, and there's a handoff. And I believe that's Blackburn, who's not going to get much. I'm going to call that 1 yard. And so it's going to bring up second down. That was a gain of 1, they say. And I believe that's Washington on the carry. So now it's 2nd and 14. Neither team's had a sustained drive all night on offense.
And, you could say against the offense here, but defensively both teams are outstanding.
And there's a pass to Chasson, and it falls incomplete as the coverage by Lathan Riley. And so Riley does a good job of jarring that ball loose. Good timing on the jump right there, as Chasson can't come up with it. Now it's 3rd and 14. Tried to get about half of it back on that play, Coach, to try to make it third and medium, but now you have a 3rd and long after the incompletion. Man in motion. Looking right on the home run ball, and it's incomplete. And I believe it would have been out of bounds. Looking to Thompson, and Chaz Smith at cornerback makes the play, and now everybody on the East Ascension side is going to hold their breath as the punting unit comes in.
This is Gotro's best throw of the night right here, right on the money.
Yep.
Just
let him a little bit out of bounds.
A little bit right there.
So now everybody's holding their breath, Coach. Ramirez in the punt. He's had one over his head, and then he's had one blocked. And one was returned pretty well, but it was negated by a penalty. Dutchtown should get great field position if they don't get their hands on it. Lathan Riley back at the 41. Pressure, gets it away, short, takes a bounce, sideways bounce. Riley picks it up and takes it about a couple of yards and hits some of the sports medicine staff, it looks like, but it looks like they're all right and back up. Haven't seen Riley yet. Out by the tent over there, but looks like everybody's okay and kind of settled. Let's look at it on the replay.
I don't believe I'd have been okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he stopped short of the sideline in the white zone, I guess, and a couple of the EA guys kind of friendly fire, I guess you would say, right?
Well, Lyle and we would have stayed in the tent.
Well, that sports medicine staff does a great job. They did a great job almost having to tend to themselves. Mayo goes in motion and handoff to Harvey. Gets a couple. The ball is stripped, but the whistle was blown. The whistle was blown, I believe. Now that was picked up and returned by Zachary Jupiter, but that's going to be for naught.
Well, let's see what.
Now we're going to see the white hat. The white hat is basically saying second down. He's setting up. So, what do you think, Coach? You think they call forward progress?
He had forward progress. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that one was, again, debatable. Another break for Dutchtown. 2nd and 9. Now Harvey waiting for his blocker. Now cuts inside. And pick up about 5.
That's one of their best plays of the night. That outside sweep with that outside. It looks like a tackle leading around.
Right. That was Dawson Davis, 71, who was leading the way. And he waited for him, then cut inside after the blockers tried to cut around him. As we are about 4 minutes into the third quarter, still no scoring in this third quarter. Dutchtown by 9. Third down, and there's Harvey tripped up. Fourth down, Deron McZeal. He's made some plays tonight, Coach.
McZeal came from nowhere, and I don't think he made the tackle.
There's a flag
above the ankles.
There is a flag. I think they're going to decline this. They're discussing it with the East Ascension side, so it's a hold. That's going to be declined. It's going to be 4th down and 3. Actually, they're going to accept it. I think that's the right decision, Coach. Because you got it at 4th down and 3 at the 23. That's makeable. Now it's 3rd and 13 from the 30, from about the 33. So it's actually 3rd and 13, 3rd from the 34.
14 yards to go for the Griffins.
You got a lot of thoughts right here.
Yep. Dutchtown is not a big quick strike team. Harvey is your home run hitter on the ground, but not on 3rd and 13 most likely. Oakland doesn't have a deep threat. Well, maybe Tyler Adams.
Remember, you got the little swing pass to the running back that they've run.
And look at him in motion. And they're throwing it to the Sherry, who catches it and holds on for a first down. I didn't know if he was going to hold it. He got a good shot to the back there, but he held on to that pass, and that's a first down.
Boy, that's right between 2 or 3 guys right there. Outstanding throw and catch.
I didn't know if he was going to hold on to it, but he did. Let's look at this replay. As a couple of great shots. There's our sideline camera. And you see that's McZeal again, who with the hard hit but couldn't jar it free. Now the keeper by the quarterback to the 10, to the 5, and down. A 1st and goal for the Griffins. We haven't seen the RPO there, but that's the first time it's been effective tonight, Coach.
Well, basically this is what I call a fake and go, where they're going to fake to the running back, and they were very popular running this with Pyro over the last couple of years.
1st and goal, 7:08 left to go in the 3rd. And this is Harvey, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. And it's 29-14. Dutchtown extends their lead and trying to make it a 16-point game with the extra point on the way. Look at the replay, Coach.
That big pass play right there was huge.
Yep. They made the right decision to take the yardage, you would think, but it was just a nice catch by DeSherry.
Nice catch. It was just well executed between about 4 defenders from East Ascension right in there.
And the extra point is up, and it's good from Michael Mathern. It's 30-14, Dutchtown with the lead. You are watching the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Walk-Ons, We Live for This, Glaze, Heating and Air, SKR Construction, Austin Fire Systems, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine Program.
16-point lead for the Dutchtown Griffins, trying to win a district title and stay in the top 8 in the power ratings. With 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd, Santa Maria leads 7-3 over Live Oak. Not a lot of offense in that game. Now, that was a nice offensive drive by Dutchtown for the touchdown, but the key right there, you talked about it, the 3rd and 14 conversion. Nice catch by DeSherry on the seam route.
And you look at, all of these Ascension Parish schools probably playing very good on defense, and they have certain nights where they get the ball done, they get the job done, and some nights they don't. But it seems like consistently everyone's had great defensive nights.
Michael Mathern to kick, and they've been doing the short kick, and they do it again. And a fair catch called and made. And number 38, successful, Dawson Landry. And so 1st and 10 for East Ascension. And now they still trail by 2 possessions. So there's no change there, except now it's a 16-point game instead of a 9-point game. So now you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to get back into this one. And we got about a quarter and a half to get it done. This has been a fun game, but Dutchtown has been threatening to pull it away a couple of times here. And now they have their biggest lead of the night. Gautreaux with the handoff. And that's Washington, who's going to get about 2 or 3. So the running has been little short, consistent gains, but not any big plays. All their big plays are coming from the passing game with Caden Gautreaux. And you would expect to see one of those deep passes again to either Thompson or Chasson. That's been their successful play this evening so far, 2nd and 8. Saw some movement on the line, no flag. Dutchtown may have jumped. No penalty.
It looked like the left defensive end, defensive tackle jumped a little bit there, and I'm sure they'll take the penalty, make it probably a 5-yard gain on that play.
They didn't, but they didn't call the penalty, although both of us did see it right there. So no penalty, and it's halfway through the 3rd quarter. So we have some other scores. John Curtis leads Edna Carr 34-0. My goodness. And everybody thought Carr was a shoo-in. And they're number 1 in the state. And then we have another update. Benton leads Parkway 33-7. That's actually not good news for East Ascension. 3rd down, pressure, sacked. And that's number 45, Mason Miles, with the big play for the Griffins, and it's 4th down.
Just could not get the ball released. And Gautreaux right there just could not get the ball out. And that 3-step drop from from the snap.
And it's 4th down, and Francisco Ramirez will punt. He was able to get it off last time, and it was a short punt. And Dutchtown had a short field and scored a touchdown. They should get better field position on the exchange in this situation, as he's lined up at about the 21. We have a whistle, and I think Dutchtown may have moved. Or nope, it's a false start.
Right tackle.
You know Dutchtown's anxious to get another block here. They're going all out for that. Also, Coach, we got an update in a game involving the number 1 team in the non-select. That is Ruston, who's tied with West Monroe. And the Dutchtown side is looking at that West Monroe score possibly because they're 1 spot ahead of Dutchtown in the power ratings right now. And there's a I think that ball may have hit the up back, didn't it?
Yes, that's what it looked like.
Another snap problem recovered by Mason Miles. Oh, you just got to feel bad for the special teams, Coach. Let's look at the replay.
I think it hit that right up back.
Yeah, it did. It's somewhere between I think it hit in between the center and the right.
Well, you have the one that's making the adjustment with his positioning there, which is the middle guy. Maybe it hit him.
This game on the field is a draw, if not for the special teams, Coach.
Very much so.
Dutchtown is just getting a chance to take advantage of some really short fields right now with the special teams. Now they get it at the 25.
Swing pass.
Possibly. There it is. Harvey. Little mistimed and still recovers for about a 7-yard gain. So successful, Coach. You were able to see that. I think everybody saw that heading that way.
I'm going to tell you what I like about it. He took a little bit of time downfield. He didn't throw it in a hurry here. Got that guy to drop back just a little bit. And even though the throw was a little bit behind him, they still picked up 9 yards on the play.
Traven Richardson made the tackle out of bounds. 2nd and 3 for the Griffins. Fake. Keeper. Oh, nice play. I think that's Hobdy with the tackle. And he looks like he's a little slow getting up. But Hobdy made a nice play and probably saved the 1st down right there.
Number 1 comes in at quarterback.
Ah, good call, Coach. Coming in that Wildcat formation. And that is the DB who has caused so many problems this season, Caden Mackey. And Mackey's going to keep it. Cuts outside. He's got room to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Out of bounds. First and goal for the Griffins. And there's 2 flags on the field, so this may come back. And it is coming back. This is another 3rd down conversion or 4th down conversion going awry, Coach.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So it's going to push it back, and we have another update on the score columns. West Monroe, signs of life. We haven't seen that in a few weeks as they score a touchdown, and at the end of the 3rd quarter, Walker leads 21-14. So a 1-possession game in a Livingston Parish with Walker trying to hang on and win a share of the district title. Now it's 3rd and 14. This is where they went to the Sherry on the last possession. Dutchtown could actually have a bigger lead, perhaps if they could stop getting these penalties on 3rd and short, Coach.
And DeSherry's in a tight end.
They're setting up the quick bubble and cutting inside, and a good job. As the ball's on the ground, it's not a turnover. They're calling the ball dead on the ground. Casey McCoy made the catch. It's going to be 4th and long.
Boy, nicely set up right here.
And it looks like the ball was on the ground. Can't see whether it was moving. Don't have that angle. And you have to go for it right here. You really not. Dutchtown does not have a great kicking game.
Well, you throw the ball down there, and let's just see if we can get us a penalty here or something, or possibly a score.
3rd down, or make that 4th and 12. Balls to the 26. I tell you what, a conversion and a score right here would maybe break EA's back. All day. Now pressure. Goes left. Will he keep it? He does, and he's not going to get there. Good job. As I see no flags on the field, so this ought to be a change of possession on downs. So you saw a little late pressure from Camden Womack and kind of flushed him in. Good coverage downfield, Coach, and nobody was really open, didn't want to take a chance.
And I always like, when I'm watching quarterbacks, when they are scrambling, and it looked to me, just like Ethan Okwe had an idea. I need to get so many yards on the play, but he kept looking downfield, and the only possibility that he had was trying to run. But you still move the ball down the field. East Ascension takes over on downs.
So you're in a position now, if you're East Ascension, where you're down by 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversion. So it's still a 2-possession game, but it might be a 3 if you can't get a 2-point conversion. So they have to kind of play with a sense of urgency here, I think. And Gautro's going for the home run, and he's got him, but it's overthrown by about 5 yards. And I tell you what, he was wide open, Brennan Thompson, but that ball just didn't have enough air under it.
Good job on the pass protection, only 3 rushing.
Look at that. They had him beat by 5 yards, Coach. But the ball was 5 yards further down from that. And so it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. But they've had that, tried to go with the post that time, and it was a good idea. 2nd and 10. End of the 3rd, still 7-3. Live Oak Trails, Sanoma. So Gautreaux with the handoff. Oh, and Diego Spears busts up that play as number 21, Jeremiah Wilson, didn't have a chance.
Not well executed right here. The timing was a little bit off, which gave the defensive line plenty of time.
And this is about the 3rd time they've run that play from the slot, and it hasn't been too successful here tonight as Diego Spears is just an outstanding DT.
He says, "Oh, you're going to run right here? I'm waiting for you. Hand it to him."
So we're now inside of 2 minutes in the 3rd quarter. And under pressure, rolls out. Can he get a first down? He's going to be close. I don't know. I think he may have slid short, but they're going to say a first down. And now a late flag. It's going to be a late hit. And so East Ascension gets out of trouble. They had the slide, and so he gave himself up, but there was contact after the play.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's easy to say here in the press box.
Yeah.
You know.
At full speed, it's hard to give yourself up.
It's full speed. And look, I know he's been taught.
Look at Guy Mastretta. He's furious.
You know, get out, get down, slide. But, you know, there's also a possibility that we need to get this first down here.
You saw Guy Mastretta with the little drive-by as he was walking past our camera. And I think he had some words for the officials and probably for his defense, because basically unforced errors is going to be the thing that's going to cost you. You saw the slide. Thought it was a generous spot, but it doesn't matter. It's still a penalty.
After the penalty, Spartans have it 1st and 10 at their own 45.
So another score that could affect some of the playoff seedings. Sam Houston is leading at Southside 19-14 in the fourth quarter. Those two teams are around 11 and 12 or 10 and 12, so that could affect some of Dutchtown's potential seeding as well. 1:21 left to go, 30-14. Dutchtown with the lead.
With two safeties deep.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when you get the two safeties deep, then that's going to take away somebody either on that down lineman or the linebacker group right there. Should make it a little easier, as you can see right there with the 6-yard.
6-yard run, yeah. Jeremiah Wilson with the carry as we're now inside of 1 minute.
At the Griffin 49.
And there's a handoff to Washington. Breaks the first wave, but gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gains a yard before Lewis takes him down. And also Blake Bowie. 3rd and 4. And maybe the final play of the third quarter coming up, as you see the Dutchtown sound trying to fire up the audience. And a good crowd for Dutchtown here tonight. They have the visitors' side full, mostly wearing black tonight. There's a handoff for a first down, and boy, Blake Bowie may have just saved the touchdown right there. No, 27. That is made the shoestring tackle, Thomas Pierce. And with 10 seconds left to go, this is going to be the end of the third quarter. So Dutchtown extends their lead 30-14. EA driving, and we'll see what they can do with it when we come back. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at Pot and Paddle.
Welcome back. It's 30-14 going into the fourth quarter. Dutchtown leads East Ascension. Let's talk about the history of this series while we have a chance. And we talked about it being 10-9, Dutchtown trying to even things out. And you look at the history, Benny Saya was 8-6 overall. Guy Mastretta's had his problems. He's 1-4. And East Ascension, Billy Beasley was 4-0. John Lambert 0-4. Paul Bourgeois 1-4. But look at Darnell Lee, 5-1. He has been the most successful EA coach in this series, winningest coach.
I'm glad they left my name off that list because I had some rough times.
Well, we did catch that, but we didn't want to bring that up, Coach. Excuse me. So now 1st and 10 for East Ascension. Chasson is going to maybe try to throw it, and he does in desperation just to avoid the loss. They're trying to set up a pass, but maybe it didn't look like anybody was downfield.
Well, 73 was.
Yeah, that was about it. So falls incomplete, and there's the Griffin girls on the far side. So, again,
I thought that was
a nearly standing room only.
I thought that was a good thought right there. And, The referee, the white hat, is talking to, I guess it's Guy Mastretta on the sideline.
Maybe calling for a grounding.
Maybe he saw 73 also.
Ardell ineligible downfield. 2nd and 10. Gautreaux, quick pass, complete, and breaks a couple of tackles and gets about 4. Catch made by number 11, Nigel Murphy. So now it's 3rd and 6. And East Ascension's got to convert right here, Coach. They are down by 2 scores, but 16 points is the maximum 2-score lead right there. So they have to get some 2-point conversions as well. So you need to save yourself some time in case you don't get one and you need a 3rd possession. Gautreaux rolling out right, and it's behind the receiver but caught. And that's going to be a 1st down. Chasson with the nice catch.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that was a nice pitch and catch right there. You know, got to get a little better position on sealing that outside rush.
And that was Hanbury on the coverage. He's had a silent second half so far. He had a touchdown on defense, he had a touchdown on offense, and he had a blocked punt. But hadn't called his name until that moment here in the 4th quarter, 1 minute in. 10:54 left to go in this game. 16-point lead for the Griffins. Washington in motion. They don't go to him. Gautreaux rolls out, flag on the play. This is going to be a hold, and the pass up for grabs, and nearly 2 Dutchtown defenders take it. I think they're going to take the hold right here. I would assume that is a hold.
Well, watch Chris Harrell on the stunt here.
So the pass incomplete, but they're going to take the penalty instead. So here you go, Coach.
There it is right there. Well timed out.
Yep. Just the jailbreak right there. And East Ascension did what they had to do to keep their quarterback from getting dropped for a big loss.
2nd down and 20 for the Spartans.
So basically the deal is right there. You get the at least you don't lose it down with the penalty. You would have lost it down on a sack. 2nd and 20, or 1st and 20, excuse me. Hand off, and that is Blackburn. And it's going to be 2nd down and 21 as we get an update from Live Oak. Santa Maria has scored again, and it's 14-3, so now a 2-possession game at Live Oak. Other scores, Ruston and West Monroe tied at 28. Benton leads Parkway 39-7.
Big rival games right there now.
Yep.
Ruston and West Monroe and Parkway and Benton.
Yep.
And I'm going to just tell you, no telling how many people are at those 2 games.
Oh yeah, North Louisiana. You got 1A and 1-5A and 2-5A as the quarterback Gautreaux rolls out, and it is caught, or is it incomplete? No, they're going to say it's incomplete. So out of bounds. Looks like they're trying to get to Brennan Thompson. So it's going to be 3rd and 21, and now it's desperation time here. You got 2 downs to get it, but you're probably trying to get. Are you trying to get half here, or are you just going to take 2 shots, Coach?
I think I'm going deep and deep,
yep.
Or maybe deep and deeper.
Yeah, you got to do something. So it's actually 3rd and 20. They ruled no gain on the run on 1st down. So 20 yards with 9:45 left to go. I'm not saying that this is you have to score a touchdown on this drive, but you almost have to score a touchdown on this drive, Coach. And if you don't, you better pray for a turnover. Gautreaux, shotgun, good snap, deep pass. You called it, but it is up for grabs and nearly picked off on the rebound by Riley, but you had good coverage there. Double coverage on the receiver Chasson by Jeremy Jackson.
I like when those 2 safeties are deep.
Yep.
Is all four of them go vertical, and somebody's got to break it off and hit him over with that deep kind of slant or post, whatever you want to call it.
Now, there's an injury timeout right now as there's an injured Dutchtown Griffin on the field, one of the two defensive backs in on the play. We're going to keep it here, and we're going to turn to Coach Swack for his moment. Here's your moment, coaches. We're going to go to the middle school scoreboard for the final time this season as they have the makeup week for the heat, I guess you would say, right?
Oh, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Well, first you had a Wednesday game with Galvez beating Bluff 8-0. This is a lovely score right here. Dutchtown beat Gonzales 7-4, and I don't know if that was in extra innings or not.
Yeah, that was at 2-run homers, right?
There you go. And then Central beat Lori 21-12. Prairieville beat Lake, and Lake got knocked out of the undefeated stack, but still is a solo first place team. Prairieville won 18-6. Santa Maria had a bye. So Bruce Litchfield at Lake and Allison Brignac. Bruce Litchfield, the head coach, and his coaching staff, congratulations. And Principal Allison Brignac, congratulations. Lake Lions, I think their first ever championship in football. Outstanding job.
And they've been building and building to this, right, Coach? It's been every year they get better, and now they're on top.
And things may change for them, with the new addition of Prairieville and some switching around here.
Right. 4th down and 20, and a quick kick. And that one went sideways. But it still gets about, it's going to call it a 12-yard punt. But you know what? If you're going to punt, you might as well do the quick kick because the long snap is just not working tonight.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And, basically you could have kicked it down the middle of the field. They had two safeties deep, get the wide receivers down there. But the scary part about that is, who is on the offensive line? All your linemen.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to figure out they might have to tackle somebody. So, Nice little kick out of bounds. Don't get all worked up about that, It's probably the smartest thing that Gotro could do right there.
And a handoff and little to no gain up the middle, and a nice shove down to the ground there on the running back, Lakedron Harvey. Just a little exclamation point on some hard defense right there. Got a couple of updates for you. Walker now leads against Denham Springs 35-21. So every game is a two-score game in district right now. Chalmette beat West Jeff 35-6. They're one spot behind Dutchtown. So it would have been helpful to Dutchtown, actually 2 spots behind Dutchtown. It would have been helpful to Dutchtown if they lost the game, but Chalmette, a far superior opponent tonight for West Jeff. 2nd and 10. Oakland keeps. Going to get a couple, but he's staying in bounds, Coach, and that's what I bet you that's what Mike Janis is telling his teams. Just run some clock. Don't go out of bounds. That's even if we don't get a first down here, we can take a couple of minutes off the clock.
Well, you have that situation where number one has been the guy right there, Caden Mackey. And he has run that play a couple of times when he's come in to be quarterback.
Right, you're right about that. That was my mistake. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Harvey goes in motion. They always set up that screen, and that's to DeSherry, and it runs a little more clock, but it's not going to get a first down.
Well, you have a situation right there. The most important thing, it could have been a good play right there because they've been very consistent every time there's motion out there. A lot of times they flipping that ball out there.
Right.
And then that gets people running in that direction. But the thing is, what happened there, the defensive line just didn't rush the quarterback right there. And nice little throw to DeSherry, but that you had people around there to make that tackle right there. But as you see right here, the clock is running.
Right, 7:20 left to go. And they have their punter in, Casey McCoy. And you made a good observation about the decoy, Harvey, as the punt is a line drive, and there's an opportunity to return it, and a good return by McZeal, and he's going to get to the 47-yard line. And so now you see the punt return there. And I want to take this opportunity between series right here to talk about what's going to happen next week on the Rev Game of the Week. It's the first round of the playoffs, and what we do know is most likely Dutchtown will be hosting a home game, and so we plan to cover that next week. Santa Maria is either going to have a home game or a bye, so we could be covering Santa Maria as well. So we could have one, potentially two games next week on the Rev Game of the Week, and you're just going to have to stay tuned because we're not going to know until Sunday. The seedings are announced on Sunday on the LHSAA webpage and on their YouTube channel. So I'll be watching that, and so will a lot of other people to be finding out.
And so what's your thoughts on the possibilities of, as you see, Gotro on the run?
And he tried to maybe flip it to a back. It looked like he was trying to flip it, and it's a turnover.
So, but he also looked like he had it in one hand, and maybe when he went to the ground got bumped or whatever.
That is, yeah, maybe so, because I don't think anybody was there.
Right.
And so
you look at the Spartans right here, and, they came into this thing at 28.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look good for the Spartans right now as far as this game is concerned. So I know you've gone through all the observations, and you've conferred with the professor.
And we just found out that Santa Maria's got another touchdown.
All right, so let's just say, well, there's only 5 minutes left in that game. Let's just say, so Santa Maria's going to be in, Dutchtown's going to be in. What do you think about East Ascension's chances?
East Ascension, I was talking to a couple of their coaches and a couple of the guys who have their numbers gurus, and they were thinking the same thing I was thinking. And that is that if East Ascension lost, there's still a pretty good chance that they're going to be at 28, especially if their chances improve if South Lafourche loses. They're playing Vanderbilt Catholic tonight. We don't have a score on that one at this point.
But I'm going to just tell you the story. Just got the word. A light pole caught fire and a game was canceled.
Oh, really?
Just got the word.
Oh, wow. So that's interesting.
Well, you gotta have a connection, son.
All right. You got better connections than me, that's for sure.
Well, I just listen.
Yeah, I don't do that very often. All right.
Unbelievable and not to be replayed.
Oh, wow. So that's going to hurt potentially for East Ascension. But some other things are happening around that area. And so East Ascension, there's a lot of talk that if Santa Maria drops a little bit because of the strength of their game tonight, they could potentially drop a couple of spots. You could have potentially an East Ascension Santa Maria matchup in the first round. There's been a lot of scuttlebutt about that. But we don't know. Here's Hanbury on the keeper, and he's going to get a first down.
Hanbury goes around the left side.
So basically, who would be hosting that game?
Oh, that would be Santa Maria for sure.
And that's because of why?
Because of the seedings. Santa Maria in the top 5. So Santa Maria is either going to get a home game next week as a top 10 seed, or they're going to get a bye as a top 4 seed. Dutchtown hoping that they can stay at 8 if they can pull out this win tonight. If they get to 8, then they could potentially host 2 home games. And, of course, we're pulling for everybody here in the parish to win these games because we want to keep on covering these teams for you on the Rev Game of the Week. And as long as there's home games, we're going to be employed, Coach. And, we just want that to keep on going as you have a late flag, I think.
Late flag by the referee. And so if that's going into that sideline right there, that means Dutchtown carrying the ball into there, and maybe a late hit by the Spartans.
That's what it is. East Ascension is hanging on by a thread right now. If Dutchtown gets any points and makes the 3-possession game with 5:40 left to go, then it's pretty much a done deal. But this game is, I guess you could say, still possibly in doubt if you can get a turnover right here or some kind of unusual play. But EA needs to make something happen on defense.
Well, you know, crazy things can happen.
Yes.
And it's just like
you've seen that on the other side tonight.
A Santa Ma person told me that the Gators scored 2 touchdowns in the last minute or two.
Right.
So it could happen.
Oakland at
quarterback. Not hitting them out of bounds late, that's for certain. Here's your sweep.
And here's Harvey for a few. And just tick, 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 the clock will run.
You know, I really like this play. But the tackle is just maybe about one step behind, or if that's a guard. And it looks like it would be so much nicer if that big 71 could get around there and that running back, like basically a sweep play. And of course, it is a sweep play. But
and here comes Jumbo.
Yeah, like right now, I don't think it's a necessary thing to run. Oh, there's a receiver.
There's one receiver uncovered, and they can't get it off, and it's going to be no gain. As Mayu kind of was sneaking around there and on the upper half of the field. You can't even see him in the picture, but he's up now. You can see him.
Well, when the ball was snapped, I don't believe you have to be out to the numbers.
But no flag. And while we have the injury timeout, we can discuss a few other things. We can look at Dutchtown and East Ascension over the last 5 seasons. We can start with Dutchtown and talk about what they have done. And they're going to make the playoffs again. They're going to host a home game. Last year they hosted a home game and won, and then got to the regionals and lost to Destrehan. The year before that, they lost in the first round by district. They won in the first round in 2020. That's when they beat Terrebonne and Mason Smith. And then they made by district the last 2 seasons as well.
And Destrehan, a lot of people don't remember this. Dutchtown lost to them in the second round.
Yep.
And where did Destrehan go?
They won the state championship.
Yeah.
And Dutchtown may have given them their hardest game in the postseason. But, just one of those bad luck things where you got seated with them too early and it was a short season.
And I'll just say this. If you go to Destrehan anytime, right outside their athletic deal, you probably got 4 or 5 state championship trophies out there. So very, very, very good. Mm-hmm. Athletic, and it seems like it's mainly always in football. It seems like the other sports, maybe some girls sports, but Destrehan is always very, very good in football.
So the first ticket has been punched to the 5A championship. So Walker has won a share of the district title. They beat Denham Springs tonight 35-21. So the first of the 3 are at the gates now. As you see the injury, and while we look at the injury and the player going off the field, let's take a look at East Ascension's last 5 seasons. And they could still make the playoffs here tonight, even if they do lose. And they've won in the first round. They keep on doing that. They make it. They make it through that first round. It's going to be tougher this season if they can make it. They're still going to have to sweat that out. But 4 in a row to the second round. Then they made it to the quarterfinals, and that was that heartbreaking loss when they played over in New Orleans against, I believe it was John Ehret.
Yep, and that regional thing, I know all about that. It's a hard pill to swallow, working all year and then just making it through the first round.
Hanbury in the jumbo, and they're going to sweep. And just powers ahead, gets some more, and I think he stays in bounds.
Goes around the left side.
So Walker has won a share of the district title. Dutchtown is 4 minutes away from getting their share. And Santa Ma was winning with 4 something left last we heard. And so it's going to be first down and goal after the first down run by Hanbury, and he's going to stay in there in the jumbo.
See if we got a little cutback right here. There it is.
Cuts inside. Outside and inside, close to the end zone, not there.
Well, I'm telling you, I just love to watch this from back here. Watch this right here. Your shoulders are square. You can go any direction, straight, right, or left.
And he reached out, and he was not on the ground. He may have gotten to the end zone there, but didn't get the call from the side official.
That would be a line judge.
Yes.
So they're going to let him get the ball this time, and let's see, they just power over that right side.
And Hanbury, touchdown for the Griffins, and Carter Hanbury, he should just keep that ball and put that in his victory chest as he gets his third touchdown of the night.
Well, this is what I would say about him. Played a very good game tonight, but the one thing I would say is that's what he's got to do. That's his part of this team. He's got to be a bell cow. He's got to be a leader.
So the extra point coming 36-14. Dutchtown is going to win a second straight district title. They're going to share it with Walker and possibly Santamon. As the extra point from Mathern is good. Let's keep it here as the score is now 37-14. And let's go ahead and take a look at Dutchtown's season. And they're going to improve to 8-1 as they're going to defeat East Ascension here tonight. And you see the wins. Their only loss was to Walker, 21-20. A heartbreaker, 1 point, and that was a game where they missed an extra point and a field goal, and the game-winning touchdown was on a punt return. So they were that close, but a great season. You see them after they lost to Walker, they beat Live Oak, Santamon, Denham Springs. For East Ascension, they're going to have to hope for the best and hope that they can get into the playoffs, but we'll look at their schedule after this kickoff that's coming.
And how good has Dutchtown's defense been for them all year long? And they seem to, even with some of their better defensive players playing on the offensive side in crucial situations, I believe they can do that because I just think they do a very good job of holding teams defensively, and that way their defensive guys.
15 yards for personal foul on the PAT.
So 15-yard penalty coming.
Is that against East Ascension?
Yes, that was on the extra point. And
a lot of personal foul penalties.
And Santamon is in the gates. So they win a share of the title and stay alive for a top 4 seed.
And that's another one that their defense has done a tremendous job. And just a tremendous job all year.
Mathern's kick goes out the end zone for a touchback. Spartans had it 1st and 10.
So it's 1st and 10 after the touchback. And let's take a look at the volleyball girls one more time as they're going to play tomorrow. And the girls' teams for East Ascension, the senior players, you see them right there, Skylar Rand, Corinne Wagasback, Danielle DeFelice, and Avery Wheat. And they're going to play tomorrow against Mount Carmel. Dutchtown's going to play Central Lafourche, and you see right there Hadley Walker, Sydney Berry, Riley Wall, Mackenzie Bear, Madison Sanchez, Mackenzie Rodriguez on the front row. On the second row, Kendall Davis, Zoe Lacaz, Mackenzie Denson, Natalie Heinerman, and Brennan Coe. So good luck to both girls' teams, hoping to get one, maybe two teams to the Cajun Dome next Thursday. Right now it's 3:16 left to go, 37-16. Dutchtown has been in control of this game due to some problems on special teams and a pick six. But other than that, it's been a pretty close game, but special teams and the interception return just spoiled the day for EA tonight. And the Dutchtown Sound is excited, as they should be, as they are looking at what will probably be a three-way tie for the district title. So now it's second down, 3:10 left to go. So Dutchtown, this is the third straight week that they have scored over 30. After our fourth straight week that they've scored over 30. So the offense has done well, even though the special teams and defense contributed this week.
That's all a team deal.
Yep. So he takes a seat on the ground, and we didn't get to finish talking about East Ascension and their schedule. They're still alive for a playoff berth. Let's look at their schedule now that we have a chance. And you saw the 4 early losses, but look at who they are against. Zachary, West Monroe, Destrehan, Alexandria. They beat De La Salle, but they've come back after losing to Santa Maria and Walker, and they've won 2 games. They were trying to make it 3 tonight, but they were unsuccessful. They're going to drop to 3-7 on the season, but they're still alive for a playoff berth partly because that schedule, you get a lot of power points even if you lose to the good teams.
No doubt, and I'm going to just tell you, 3-7 because I had the opportunity to participate in those 3-7 teams games, and I'm going to tell you, it is tough to get there. But that's back in the day when you had your power ratings and you had your 32 teams.
Yep.
But that 3-7 team is just about tough enough to where what happens, it gets you in right outside of what you needed to get into the playoffs a lot of times. So it'll be interesting to see when they come out with the power rankings, because you have to have the meeting where you can appeal.
Right.
And so there may be, because you've had a number of forfeits throughout the year, and so it might be real interesting. Let's see if we can get this snap back.
Yeah. It's low, but Dutchtown's not going to try to pour it on here. So it's taken by Mackey. I think he was just trying to let it go, but now he's got a chance to return it, and it's deep. But they'll probably take a knee here and just kind of finish it out. And I want to bring up one thing, because you're talking about the appeals and the forfeits and all that. Dutchtown and Santa Maria are both in a bad situation because of what happened with Carver. They both had wins against Carver, but they were both forfeited because Carver had to forfeit their entire season. So you got their wins, but then with the power rankings, you got no extra points because they had 0 wins on the season.
You got the 10 points for that win.
Right, but then they didn't beat anybody, so you're not getting any bonus points.
And that could help it happen in a number of situations.
Yeah.
But that is tough right there.
But like if Santa Maria winds up not getting a top 4 spot by like 1/10 of a point, which could possibly happen, then you sit there and say, man, why did Carver have to forfeit their season?
And you can't sit there and say, well, I shouldn't have scheduled them because I knew they were going to have to.
Yeah.
And it's a good job here by the official, standing over the ball, making sure we don't have any extracurricular activity.
So Dutchtown is going to get a share of the district title for the second year in a row, and their claim to fame is they're the only 2-time district champion in 5-5A, because last year they split it with Denham and EA. This time they're going to split it with Walker and Santa Maria. And as we said, next week we're definitely going to have a Dutchtown game. Don't know who they're going to play yet. We may have a Santa Maria game depending on whether they are in the top 4 or in the top 8. And then next week, if one of those 2 teams wins, we're going to have another home game. So we're hoping to maybe get 2-3 weeks deep into the postseason with home games on REV Sports, Coach.
Yep, and that's why we're here, and that's why everybody here, the fans, all the players and coaches, the bands. I mean, this is a great activity here, and it's a long season, and you shake hands, congratulate the guys on the wins or loss, and let's get back to the drawing board, hopefully, for both teams.
All right, we're going to take a break and then wrap things up. Our final score, Dutchtown 37, East Ascension 14. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Walk-Ons, We Live for This, Glaze, Heating and Air, SKR Construction, Austin Fire Systems, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine Program.
So our final score, Dutchtown 37, East Ascension 14. And that will conclude our regular season. We'll see you next week for the playoffs. I want to thank everybody who was part of this broadcast. Producer Lyle Boudreau, Director Nolan Wagaspack, and our camera operators, Courtney Lawrence, Priya Singleton, Jake Wazan, and Andre Chapoy. Thanks to everybody, and thanks for watching this week. We'll see you next week for the playoffs. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.